Does that ever get old?
Love it. That makes me feel very professional.
Yeah.
Does it? All right. It overcompensates for other shortages for me, if you know what I mean.
From this point onward, yeah.
Shortages, shrinkages, other things. Boys, how are we?
We're good, man. How are you?
Very good.
I'm good. Hello to all the people out there. I know we had some people tailgating this event. Dan's back. I feel like Dan, it's been a while since we've seen you. I think it was probably
Dan was working last week until later, I think.
I think that's what he would say. I think Dan is actually just Team Glenn all the way, and since Glenn left the band and pursued his solo career, Dan went with him. So
now, was Glenn more of a Phil Collins or a Peter Gabriel?
I think he's more of a Peter Gabriel. You know, I think he realized he was probably above us. He wanted to go explore more creative outlets. He's at no shortage of ideas, and you could argue he's more successful without the band holding him back.
And he's dressed like a green bean.
Yeah. Hey, John. Good to see you.
Hey,
Jason's
John.
here. Hey, Richard. How's it going? I know I'm wearing the merch on sale now. I don't know when they ship, but they're on sale.
What a business venture.
You know what? Carly makes a good point. I don't know. The title of this video might be blocked if we're calling it the. Sam, I just realized your name, by the way.
What, Sam?
I saw it right away.
Sam, Trois.
As you wipe sweat from the brow. Of the
I'm so hot. I have to open my window. Hold on.
Well, yeah,
oh my God, sorry. I was just watching Cops, and so I'm like just really. It's really
nervous.
You're like George after he exercises and he continues to sweat.
Yeah,
like
I'm a human heat pump.
I don't. Yeah, we don't like a liar, George.
I don't know how it's been for the people out there. We've had the most ridiculous weather over the past 24 hours. It was 70 degrees yesterday.
Oh my God.
That's Fahrenheit, Jason. All right, relax.
I know, yes. I know. It's warmer than here.
It was about 35 degrees Celsius. For the Canadian contingency out there, but it was about 70 degrees yesterday and stayed. It did not at night. It did not get lower than about 65. So it was like kind of warm, really. And then naturally 5 a.m. tornado warning. I get like woken up by sirens. Like great time to live in a third floor apartment. Sam, you know. But yeah, I mean that was going for like an hour. Terrible, stuff, flying everywhere, whatever. And then as soon as it hit like 8 a.m., it's been on a steady decline, and it is about 25 degrees out right now.
It's 45 here.
Yeah, and I'm no meteorologist, but based on what the fat guy in the news said this morning, he said it's when you get that warm air and it mixes with the incoming cold air that you get that rotation. So
I didn't know the weathermen talk like that in Ohio.
Oh, they talk like that everywhere.
Do you legit? Here's your ignorant Canadian question for the evening. Oh, I'm outnumbered for like the first time ever here. Is there like a legit friggin' alarm that goes off? Like
we have sirens.
Sirens.
Yep. We have sirens. And I happen to live.
Odysseus.
That's good. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Easy.
What a homer.
Oh man.
But in Ohio, fuck.
That joke to Achilles,
Oh, that's pretty good too. So I live about a mile and change away from like the local siren, so it's loud. But here's the thing, and I'm curious. I mean, Jason, you're up in the mountains, so I can't imagine y'all get too many touchdowns up there, if you know what I mean. And same, Sam, you're in obviously not like we live in flat Kansas or something, but like tornado warnings and their definitions have changed a lot since even I was a kid. So it used to be that somebody had to like witness a funnel cloud for there to be a tornado warning. And
yes,
a tornado watch just meant that like,
conditions
are right.
That's how it is here.
Scaled that back where the analogy that I see now is that if you're going to bake a cake and you put all the ingredients out on the counter, that's a tornado watch. And then when you mix all those ingredients up, that's a warning. But like, there's still not a tornado.
you, Al Roker.
Yeah, he looks good.
Looks like your boyfriend's not going to make it. He's not my boyfriend. He's not. Interesting.
Who are we talking about?
Al Roker.
Oh, another. We make a lot of Seinfeld references in case the gallery didn't know.
No, I'll my last video, which I'll shamelessly plug. Please go check out what Jason gave me. All the goodies that were brought to my porch.
Yeah,
my porch. I mean my floor.
Oh, that's
Dan.
Well, see, Dan, in the South, Milwaukee sounds like Canada, so you know.
Well, and it's also pronounced Milwaukee, so. Which means the good land. No, Milwaukee's the only city.
There's a place in Virginia called Goochland.
All right, I've been there. Hey, Marcia, how's it going?
Hey, Marcia.
Looking forward to your in the Sunday Vinyl Confessions stream on Sunday. Looking forward to that. Yeah, they're allowed, but like I guess you're raised a certain way, and that way is that tornadoes only hit where it's flat, So,
let's see, in Virginia nowadays, we are getting more and more tornadoes, which is scary.
I read this as Jason has to deal with frosted tips. He sure does.
that won't happen.
What's everybody's beverage of choice tonight? I know Alex's.
Jason's
going with
I got
the
PBR on standby. Otherwise, I'm drinking a BC beer at a Fernie.
Hold on.
Cool.
Let's do this thing here.
You've got yourself an IPA.
Yeah.
With the mountain and everything. It must be Canadian.
Yeah. What is that? A 6.7? Oh shit!
That's and how many ounces is that in Celsius?
It's a quarter of a kilometer.
Yeah, how many centimeters is that?
Man, Sam, that joke never gets old.
Hey,
we love that one.
This is when we pour one out for Rob for not having to deal with these shenanigans.
Oh man, yeah. Wow, damn. I'm sorry to hear that, John.
That was only like 20 years ago, right, John?
Nice. Good cover, Sam. Okay, it appears
we're getting one up on our natural disasters.
We struck a nerve on the natural disaster topic. Yeah.
Here I thought this was going to be like a safe topic where you could, say, yeah, wow.
We had a derecho like in 2008.
Yeah, wow. I'm sorry, people. That
was rough.
Now I feel bad. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Kind of.
It's Dan. It's more like we've got nothing to say. Yeah. Georgia's dead.
Dan, we probably do. I can't stop buying. Like, BC's got great beer. Like, say that about the province. There's a lot of things about the province that I love, but the breweries here are freaking amazing.
Wait, you're making it seem like there's a lot of things. You're like, say what you want about BC, but the beer is great. Like, what do they say about BC?
I think we're all the rest of. What do you think, Dan? The rest of Canada just thinks we're all potheads here, I guess. BC is known for its marijuana, its left-wing politics, and I don't know what else, Dan.
I mean, is it literally just like Washington? It's like the northwest of the states extended.
Yeah, it just continues.
Yep.
You just described Willie Nelson's tour bus, there, Jason.
Yeah, Sam. About that, you got your tickets yet to go see that tour?
Holy shit! What a lineup! Tell the
they haven't. They go on sale on the 1st. I was looking at some preliminary tickets in Charlotte because that's on a Saturday, so like at least then like I could stay down there for the night. And I mean, Charlotte's 3 hours for me. And like I could hit up Noble Records and do all that stuff. Shout out to Jason's shirt. But
shout out to my shirt.
I was looking because it's like in one of those pavilions, and like it looked like even like the middle ground tickets were like $174 before. Like
was that a PNC?
Yeah, PNC.
Yeah, I saw some shows there back in my day.
That's where Green Day is going to be later this summer, doing like their Dookie American Idiot tour.
Yeah,
at PNC.
You're going to go to that?
Nah, I don't. Especially if I do Dylan, because for this Dylan show, like I've said, it's Dylan, Willie Nelson, and then Robert Plant, Alison Krauss.
Yeah.
So that would be. I mean, I've never seen Willie or Robert Plant.
That wasn't the one because isn't Mellencamp on a couple of them?
He's doing more West Coast shows, or in Texas, I think.
I've seen nothing but like rave reviews of everything that.
Dude, me too. Sam, have you also seen that? Did he just? He's.
What the hell?
Hey. What about them rave reviews?
Well, yeah, tell us about the rave reviews, you left-wing pothead. What do you?
What the hell just happened?
As you take a sip of beer.
Kraus and Plant. I want to see them. I want to get some of their albums.
Yeah, Kraus Rock out of Germany.
It's good. Sam's on fire.
No, my cousin and his wife saw Robert Plant and Austin Kraus over the summer, and they seem to like it. And he still does like 4 or 5 Zeppelin tunes / songs that Zeppelin covered, but then they do like old gospel songs, and then the songs from the 2 albums they've done together.
Yeah.
So, but just to see Robert Plant would be pretty sweet.
Well, I have XTC, and then I think there's just X, which is a punk band. But
John, you said you see Dylan this weekend, or is it like tomorrow night?
Yeah. I can see that. There's a lot to worry about down there in Florida, I guess.
I have a few friends. In Gotha, Florida right now, Marsha, right there in Orlando.
Gotham.
Yeah, Botchman.
Look, we love a variety pack. I'm so glad that the variety pack is hitting
Oh,
here.
man.
Like, oh man.
Are y'all big Napoleon Dynamite people?
No.
Well,
I mean, I remember it. I would get the jokes, but
there's a never mind.
Nah. like a tot joke or something.
No, about a fun pack.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all talking BC. Bonjour, Marsha. Yeah. Look at y'all are so young. Yeah, I don't know about them. That's always my favorite when people do any sort of. So there's a kind of a very nerdy thread, which means something that I'll do. Going out there about this is when everybody leaves. It's like Prague A to Z, and so the idea is like for every letter show a Prague band, and it's just like funny because like everybody gets to X and they're like, well,
yeah.
Is XTC a Prague band? And they're like, not really, but they've always sort of been semi-considered such, so whatever.
And you've got Xavier Cugat, the old Cuban band leader, if you want to go back really far.
Oh, I totally do, yeah.
Him and Desi Arnaz.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks for asking, guys. I'm drinking a Miller Lite.
Oh, yeah.
And my Harvest Record chalice here.
Where's Harvest Records out of?
It's in Asheville. It's downtown Asheville. Really, really cool spot.
Nashville?
Ash.
Nashville.
Like
Nashville.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Nashville.
No, it's funny. One of the main dudes that works there, he actually went to James Madison University up in Harrisonburg, which is right next door to the little school of Bridgewater College where I went.
Right there in the Blue Ridge, eh? Well, no, it's the other one, right? I guess it kind of depends how you define it.
It's still Blue Ridge, technically. It's not Allegheny.
Yeah.
Fully.
Well, I'll tell you what, Richard, you can thank actually Sam for that. That's a full-on Sam recommendation. He sent me that and recommended it to me, and I'm glad that you got it and you enjoyed it. Yeah, I loved it, man. I thought it was great.
I'm surprised it's still hanging out in stock.
Yeah.
I think it was only like a 5,000 pressing, if even that. It might have been 2,500.
I don't even know what this means.
I read that as North Korea.
So did I.
And I'm only, what, 3/4?
They got a good selection up there. Yeah.
Super value up north. Good job, Dan.
No.
We only know the Seinfeld thing there, FBA. If there's something else going on, we're ignorant to it.
And we believe it's Ménage à Trois.
Yeah, let's just say there's a reason that I have a little bit of a wet brow. Okay. All right.
He's into it.
Are you crazy?
We ought to just live stream a Seinfeld in the corner. We just sit here and watch and giggle together.
People
I should have uploaded
to Seinfeld. Yeah.
I should have uploaded the thumbnail as the brandy instead of beer and vinyl in the corner, just so we had the Ménage
You gotta hit that up for like April Fool's Day or something. Just have like an
Oh,
April
for
Fool's
sure.
stream. But speaking of fools, Alex, your birthday's coming up.
Oh
soon.
man, yeah.
What
Happy
a segue.
birthday! Happy birthday! No such thing.
But hey, at least there's cheap beer and fast women.
See, Sam, I made the Seinfeld joke, and you didn't originally connect with it. That's one of my favorite episodes. Is when they're telling Jerry he can't be funny and he has to be sad for George's.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
birthdays. Yeah.
Happy birthday! No such thing.
No such thing.
Yeah.
I'm dark. I'm depressed. I got it all. Oh man, we're so cool. Yeah. I got a fat birthday coming up on Friday, as it were. So because of leap years and how those things kind of go, tomorrow I guess is the 29th of February, which means I got to wait a whole extra day for my magical birthday on Friday. So I'm thinking, I know we were talking about, but I'm thinking about doing some kind of birthday extravaganza stream, and then probably going online or something like that and getting on YouTube. But I was thinking, tomorrow I'm going to be out with some friends and doing dinner and all that kind of stuff, getting away from this whole scene. But I am thinking Saturday might be a cool night for that. Jason, I know you got to work or something, and Sam, you'll find something else to do. But you know what? For the people out there, come sing happy birthday to me.
How old?
Bob old. All right. Well, we're 17 minutes in. Let's talk about some music, shall we? So other than Ménage Trois and three pieces, today's topic is more in line with, I guess, recent spins, but that sounds kind of tired. Just whatever's been tickling the fancy lately, right? Like whatever you all have been into, listening to, all that kind of stuff. So, I would love to see. Jason, I know you just posted a video, and so I'm sure all your records are right by you still.
They are. I want to get right into it. Let me go first. So Alex sent me VCLT. So I've only received something from another VC member once before, and I think it was even before I started my channel. That was Chance Concert Bunny had sent me a 7-inch, and he sent me a record as well.
Wow.
And anyway, so this is like my first kind of real VCLT that I got. Super touched by this.
Hold on, he's talking about touched. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So I know this band only because of all the promo work that Coal Mine and Karma Chief have done for it. I haven't streamed anything. I only know like based on Instagram. Oh my God, Sam, that's fucking brilliant. That was what Dan said to do. What is this, amateur hour?
What is this, amateur hour?
I'm totally distracted now. two animal acts in one show. All right. So
you go, girl.
Sam, you're ruining the moment.
I love it. It's too good.
This is my moment.
Oh, sorry.
So he sends me this album. I only know like based on little clips on Instagram about this, and I liked what I heard. And I had yet to dive in. I did not see this coming, to be honest, Alex. I didn't even know it was going to be a record, to be honest. I thought maybe it was like a T-shirt or something, right? But so I got from Alex, Ghost Funk Orchestra, a song for Paul. Now, is this the new one? Like, is this is?
I think that was 2019, maybe. That was the
mysterious groove-based psych. Holy shit! Is that ever a great? And like, just like Alex said, that is so on point for what this sounds like. I literally opened this up at like 2:30 today, a couple hours ago, and I've already spun it 1.5 times. I cannot get enough of this. This is right up my alley. Well, actually, it's not up my alley. That's the thing. It's kind of outside my comfort zone, but the psych vibes on this are just so great. Like, there's some spoken word stuff kind of here and there, not very prominent at all. But in any event, the psych element of it is what I'm in for. There's definitely a bit of a funky kind of thing on a couple tracks, but I am very excited to dive deeper into this band, Ghost Funk Orchestra. Again, this is very new to me. Would I have ever thought that I would get into this? Probably not, if it wasn't for Alex and algorithms and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of grateful for Alex and for the technology that got me going towards Coal Mine Records to begin with. And that kind of, that and the other album that I showed in my video there, I'll just get into it right now, I guess. But the other album that I showed, the other album, I got tons of
Hold on,
here.
Jason. Let me ride you a little bit there. You mind if I ride you a little bit?
Please.
All right.
Oh God.
Well, hold on. Let me make myself big and then put me center stage. So Sam's out. He's out. So it's funny. So that was truthfully, that was the only record that I could very easily send you that wasn't like $1 bajillion. But that doesn't mean it's less worth it, except if you're talking monetarily, it physically is. But so this is their most recent one that I guess technically was released last Friday, like 6 days ago or 5 days ago. But they had shipped. I pre-ordered it and I got it about a week early, which is kind of dope. But that is A Trip to the Moon from Ghost Funk Orchestra, and again, a jazz funk space odyssey. What I appreciate about them is that yes, it's jazzy, it's funky, it's psychedelic, but it's like you get, like you said, some funk stuff, some spoken word stuff. You get male, female vocals sometimes, but not all the time. There's orchestration going on. There's, it's kind of all over the place. I will say I'm a big fan of this. Was the pre-order web store exclusive here, if you want to, but that is a nice, cute little.
Ooh,
hey, you can't really see
some blue raz.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to see. It just kind of comes off as purple there, but it's
kind of marbly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit marbled for sure, which is awesome. And it came with, look at that, a little patchy patch.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So that's been getting some heavy presence on the table for sure. Yeah,
there's some good comments. I'll just quickly mention this one, and then there's a bunch of good comments there actually. That was what I showed today. This was my intro to coal mine. I saw a YouTube video randomly like a couple of years ago when these guys were doing just like a radio spot, live at a radio spot, and it was incredible stuff. And being a bit of a Booker T fan, it kind of spoke to me with the Oregon thing. And I've kind of followed them since. I picked up the Live at Loveland thing. I got this. There's a couple other ones that I want, but that was my intro to coal mine. And anyone that's watching obviously knows Alex, and Alex is a big champion for this label. And I have not heard a thing on this label that I haven't liked yet a lot. Alex and I were chatting earlier before the live stream started, and what I was going to say was, before he probably cut me off, as he typically does. Is that it's funny when you're getting into music to the point that you're obsessed enough that you're starting to pay attention to labels, and then it's really fun and great when you find a label that kind of speaks to you and like tends to issue out a shit ton of great stuff. And so that's for right now for me, that's Coal Mine and Karma Chief, and I'm kind of following Alex's lead on that. Like he's so well versed in everything they've put out, but everything they put out I liked. The only downside is, like, if I want to be like a Debbie Downer on it all, is that if that's just Coal Mine, how many other small little boutique labels are out there that are putting out just killer ass shit that we're missing out on, right? I wouldn't know any of these bands if it wasn't for just happenstance, basically.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyway.
And not to continue the pimping, but we will. Can you pull that Cold as Vice back out?
Vice. Yeah.
So here's what it is, I think, for like the record nerds out there like us, right? Is that in the sleeve right now?
It is.
Oh, you got one of those fancy sleeves. So here's the thing, right?
No, that came with it. They put it in a nice sleeve.
That's the thing, is like you get rice paper insert, right? That is like the MoFi acoustic sounds treatment, right?
Yep.
You get like Stoughton style tip-on gatefold jacket.
Oh yeah, let me say something to that, because the GA20 came like this, and so did yours as well. That cardboard, like the actual sleeve itself, is slightly larger than everything else, so it really fits. Shout out to Rob, who's pimping out the Vinyl Storage Solutions. The Vinyl Storage Solutions outer sleeves fit these just friggin' perfectly. So It's actually like a nice cardboard sleeve.
Yeah. Well, and so that's the thing is like, for us people, the YouTubers, it's like you get this heavy duty gatefold, jacket, right? You get the the rice paper inner sleeve that everybody needs for all their stuff. You typically get, sometimes it's maybe a colored wax or something like that. Beautiful artwork. They tell you where it's mastered at. They tell you all those different things. Jason, I don't know what you're in Canada, so it's a little bit different. If I go down to my local store here, they have that record as it is for $17.
Yeah, and like I think Dan made a comment there, and coal mine records are cheap to boot. And I haven't actually, no, that's not true. The one I bought, the Loveland one I bought, was reasonable for sure down in Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm just all about them, and maybe more on that later, as they say. Yeah, let's look at some of this stuff here. Yeah. More on coal mine. Yeah, there's some stuff in the works, as they say. I don't know. Look, Gary, if you just come around here to poke fun at my serial killer walls and my plain background and my beard on a baby face, sir, okay?
Man,
then
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Have you seen Gary's video when he's calling out all the other YouTube channels and making them do stuff?
What he said,
obviously, Alex, yeah.
And I commented, and I was like, Gary,
God.
I'm going to end up in fucking jail because of you. Like, I was like, you are trying to get me killed or worse. Like, there's no good way.
What was his challenge to you again?
That I had to call out 4 female VC members that I would want to take on a date, and what beer I would drink and what record I would play.
And he didn't do Sam because Sam's too nice.
He mentioned me. He said, I had something for Sam, but he's too nice. I was like,
and then he calls out Jack the Vinyl Martini, and I've already watched his reply where Jack like wakes up and does a video, and his hair is supposed to be a mess, and it still looks great.
Still perfect.
Still great.
I know Anthony just put one up. I haven't watched his yet, but he pretty much said he's not going to disrespect the king by dressing up as Elvis.
Like I said, Gary, in all seriousness, that is like one of the best videos like I've seen.
Yeah, I would put that.
It's perfectly done.
Yeah. At the end of the year, that will be a top 10.
That's what I'm saying, Gary. Sure. One of these days, man, I'm getting out there.
I want to. Yeah.
Rich, Innuendo City all the time. When I'm hosting, that's all you get. You get bad jokes and worse jokes for sure. Hey, what's up, Art? Good to see you.
Hey, right on.
Hey, Art.
Watch your. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
Art will appreciate that. Well, maybe if the glass comes through. You see that, Art? That's Harvest Records, my friend.
Up there in Nashville, right?
Up there in Asheville.
Yeah. The most breweries per capita in the United States.
Oh, the number of times I've heard that.
Yeah.
There's a lot around here, though, honestly.
Don't we all, Dan? Don't we all?
Well, he is in British Columbia. It's pretty close to Oregon.
That's a bad joke. That's a joke. Like, Richard, don't complicate this, man. Let's just have like our one or two that we love, and we'll go from there. Okay, yeah, he's right though. That's kind of how we've gone.
Gluten-free.
Yeah. No, seriously, Marcia makes a good point here. Gary is on the he's here to get me gone, man.
We say that as the name of the stream is what it is.
It's true. Well, and I feel like I probably say this. I know I told you to, but like it is now. We're about 3 weeks out from Gary and I meeting up. Some in-person love.
Some flesh.
Yes, I'll probably take a little bit of that flesh and bring it down with me for you, Sam.
I need some Gary flesh.
Don't we all? Hey, Sam, you're up, man. What's been going on with you? What's been tickling your musical fancy, huh?
Well, this is my time to plug. I've been hanging out with Rich Strickler again, as we all know. People that didn't know Rich before, he is back making new content. He was just doing the weekly video with Brian Massey on Massey's Main Entertainment, but Rich is back on his channel, the first time since May. And I'll just go ahead and plug that now.
So good for him to be back. So good.
It is. Well, let me take
Sam, your background's a problem on the Merv Griffin show.
Well, yeah. Let me.
You have to just put it above your face. Like put it right in front of your face.
Yeah. No, I'm going to do that. Back to my cold walls. No. So Rich and I, we had a series that we did for probably a year or so with other projects that we were part of, and when he said that he wanted to come back, we kind of decided, we were going to restart this series. We used to do it with a rotating guest every week based on the musical, based on the record that we were going to show. But we're essentially ranking the classic, basic record collector albums. So like we've done Rumors, we've done Band on the Run, Sticky Fingers, Blonde on Blonde, stuff like that. And so this is one that Rich has been wanting to do for a long time, and I was happy to oblige. We just ranked Hotel California by the Eagles.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I'm showing tonight are CDs. So if people don't like that, then, Ménage that Trois. I got back on a little mini Eagles kick. So I would listen. Obviously, I listen to Hotel California a bit. And please go over to Rich's channel. I've got it on my community page, the video. But I want to get him up to 700 subscribers pretty fast. But today, again, Hotel California was kind of like it was the penultimate album of the original Eagles run. And of course, their last album of that run was The Long Run. So I listened to that today on the way to work. And this album has a lot of mixed feelings to it. It's got big hits on it, like The Long Run, I Can't Tell You Why, which I know Alex, I've heard him do a version of that.
I can't tell you why.
That's very good.
Not bad.
It's also got, Heartache Tonight on there, which is another banger of a tune.
Bobby Seger, yeah.
Seger, yeah, Souther, and Fry, yeah. But then it's got kind of weird stuff like The Greeks Don't Want No Freaks, The Disco Strangler, just like weird stuff. And you could tell they were kind of on the outs. I mean, this album doesn't really have a lot of cohesive qualities about it, but it's got, again, an album that's 10 tracks and 3 of them. Oh, it's also got In the City on it.
I love that. I love that song.
Killer song by Joe Walsh.
Such a good song.
People forget that's an Eagles tune. Because it sounds like, something that he did with, the James Ganger solo. But yeah, I've been on a little mini Eagles kick. I'll probably continue that for the next few days. I'm kind of going all over their catalog, but I wanted to kind of cover those last couple of albums because, kind of the same vein, same lineup. Randy Meisner was on here. He wasn't. Anyway, the Eagles, I've kind of been hanging out with those boys.
So Sam, Mr. Can I call you Mr. Trois? Is that okay?
Please.
Can we maybe expect like an Eagles ranking over the next would love to hear your thoughts on the catalog itself, at least the classic period. I don't need you to do like long road out of heaven or hell or the
Out of Eden, but close.
Adam and Eden or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now I think at one time Rich and I talked about doing that full album. That full studio discography. It'd be tough because some of those early ones are just so neck and neck with each other. I could easily probably do it. I need to listen to those. Was it 7 albums? The initial run, 6 albums.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in a little Eagles corner right now. At the Beverly Hills Hotel. So
it's a classic. Yeah, that's good stuff.
So you talk. I'm gonna go get another.
Now we're talking. Get another one. We're talking. Yeah, we've talked about this. Not to just continue highlighting where exactly in the world Jason is, but yeah, he's up there. It's like I'm a 19-hour drive to the border. I'm like, well, we'll talk next year.
What do you got, Alex? What do you got? What was the last thing on your table, Alex?
Well, my last thing on my table, and I think I think can kind of play into a number of different things. So the last thing I played, and please for the people out there, hold on, let me go ahead and forgive the sleeve damage on this, but you know what? When you're a crate digger like me, you always looking for the deal, and I've always said like it's not that I don't think that it's not like I don't care about condition of the sleeve. It's just, to me, it's like, if the record's $1 or $3 or $5 because the sleeve is damaged, but it's a $25 record and the record itself is in great shape, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way I go. So that's how this was. I think I paid $10 for this. One of my favorite albums of all time, and one of the first original master recording or MoFi vinyl pressings was of Crime of the Century from Supertramp. So obviously, yeah, big water damage and kind of torn down here, but the record itself is in great shape. So yeah, this was one of the first ones that MoFi did, I think in the late, I think like 79, 78, something like that. I always laugh that it was funny. The first MoFi vinyl pressings were of Jason's favorite album of all time, which is Dark Side of the Moon, I'm guessing. Yeah?
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay.
It's up there.
But I'm saying it's just interesting that's like, well, Dark Side of the Moon, yeah, that's the obvious choice. And then this, which for me, I love this record so much. But, you know, I don't think a lot of people consider this the classic that it is because it's Supertramp. And Supertramp, I think, gets lumped into a lot of different categories, genres, styles that might not be fair. I'm personally a huge fan of them. Like I said before, one of my favorite albums of all time. But to me, their run with this, Crisis What Crisis, what's the one with Fool's Overture on it, and, you know, so forth and so on. It just keeps going. Like that span of like 5 records to me is just one of the strongest 5 record whatever kind of cassettes ever. So this was the last thing that was on the table, just because, I mean, I love the actual title track itself when it kind of goes to that break with when the piano comes in and sort of crescendos to the end is just so epic to me. So damn good. But what's funny about that is I was also thinking how that ties into some of the other stuff that I was doing. Those who are a big fan of me and the work that I do know that I've become a normal contributor to the Prog Corner over on Scott Lade's channel on Sunday afternoons. And one of the things that's been interesting is like, you know, dialing in. I'm a prog guy, but obviously I'm a lot more than just a prog guy. But it's so funny, like how us like prog nerds look at certain bands and we're like, oh yeah, they're totally prog, one of the best prog bands ever. But other people look at them as like a glorified AOR band. And so, you know, that was true when we did an episode several weeks ago when we were ranking the songs of this great band. This is Kansas's debut. You know, when people think about Kansas, they think of, you know, Dust in the Wind, Carry On Wayward Son. And it's like, yeah, those were huge hits in 1976, 1977. But really, yes, even in the quietest moments, thank you. I just saw it pop up. That's it. Fool's Overture is what closes it out, man. What a great record that is. But yeah, I mean, Kansas debut, great artwork. This is, I forget the actual name of this artwork, but this is sitting in the Kansas State Capitol, I think, in Topeka.
Christ.
Yeah, like I forget. This is not their artwork. This is the name of something the hero. Or this was an abolitionist, I think, which in those days was kind of, you know, that was sexy, right? Like so.
He sounds like John Brown, a smidge.
Yeah, but then it led to this one, which again I will continue to sing the praises of this band. We just did this past Sunday. And I'm all in on this band. Another classic MoFi, just to make Jason feel bad about it. And that's Styx. I mean, I was reviewing, we just did our top 10 Styx songs and we were reviewing them. And it was like, this is such a perfect record. I mean, so perfect. And it's perfect in the way that's like, it's got the 3 or 4 major FM radio bangers, right? It's got the Come Sail Away. It's got all that kind of stuff on it. Grand Illusion title track. But it's got some amazing progressive deep cuts, some heavy stuff all over the place. So it's been really rewarding to go back and check out sort of the really classic Styx catalog. This is the other one. I mean, I think Grand Illusion is definitely the masterpiece. But to me, anything, I mean, pulling this out. Pieces of 8 is just outstanding. Equinox, you got Crystal Ball, all this stuff. I mean, again, another band that put together a strand of hits that were amazing, and then they put out Babe, and everybody lost it. So
I'm going to ask you a question because I mean, I have a few. My mom was a Kiss fan. She was a Styx fan. She saw Styx. She kind of liked that. I mean, she saw Foreigner, like the classic lineup, a few times, and she saw Styx a couple times.
Yeah,
I have. What is the album? It's a gatefold with like the mirror in the inside. It's Styx. Is that the hotel? Is that
is it Paradise Theater? Maybe
Paradise Theater. I think
it could be that. Yeah,
because I think Jeff Witcher gave me a couple as VCLT. But for some reason, that particular record shows up on my Discogs as having some value to it because of the specific gatefold or something. I don't know if it's accurate, but it shows like that its high value is very high, and I don't know why that's the case because I feel like it's a very common like $5 record, like a lot of Styx records are. So I don't know. I was curious if you knew.
No, it's I mean usually because these Styx records are they're dollar bin hollers, right? Which is great. Sam, I know when we were talking years ago, when we were talking back in the fall, we were talking like, oh, that'd be a cool video idea to think about, like, what are the bands where you can get like the bulk of the discography for $30, right? Like, because they're all like $5 records, and Styx is one of those. I mean, you can get their 4 or 5 best records for $5 each at most places. So yeah, I mean that's interesting for sure. Let me pull some things here. Well, there's we know that. I will talk about that here. Well, I'll address it shortly. I appreciate it. I mean, here Pyromania was a gigantic record. I saw some people were like, why would they do an anniversary? And it's like, because the thing is sold, 30 million copies worldwide. Pyromania is a huge record. So good for them. I'm not going to get it. I have so much of the extra stuff, outtakes, live stuff, all that kind of stuff. I'm bummed that I missed they did the first several had a signed insert, and I missed that. So I would have loved that, but did not get that. Okay, Dan, that's a good joke. Go ahead.
Who else has cheap records?
Well, I think you could sit in that sort of, well, you know what? I mean, I think there's a lot of bands. I do think, going to that sort of AOR.
Moody Blues. The Moody Blues.
I mean, Jackson Brown is a big one, obviously. Because
Jackson Brown's a great example. Moody Blues, for sure. You can get the whole...
I don't even know. Like, does Yo-Yo Ma have a lot of cheap records?
God. You know what? Did he? I don't know.
Yo-Yo Ma?
Because he's what, cello? He play cello? Is he a cello player?
Yeah, he is a cello player. He's a cello player, yeah.
Hold on. Go find out. What is this? Answer Gary.
Yo-Yo Ma. Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, well, that's the one.
Don't make me choose, Gary.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. I appreciate that.
No, Gary, this relationship is like that episode of Seinfeld where George tries several times to break up with a woman, and she goes, "No, we're not breaking up." And then he's got the second woman. We can work through this. That's what that is.
Yeah, I would have to see, Sam. I'll look. Maybe I don't know. Let me or you go do that sort of thing. You figure out what that record is.
Let me show you my stuff.
But I think to your point though, right? Like you could look at stuff like Styx. You could look at Foreigner are all typically pretty cheap in there. For like people who have like heavier hard rock music, like Jason, I'm surprised you haven't gotten into just again based on like accessibility, reliability, stuff like that. Like Uriah Heep, right? I mean, you can get like the first.
Yeah, that's everywhere. Like even for me up here, Uriah Heep is everywhere. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know anything about them. I have zero clue.
But what's easy about them is their first 6 are money, classic, like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. It's like their first 6 or 7. After that, you get a little bit less, but still good. I mean, band that never really put out a bad album, but those, like, if you've seen like Salisbury or Magician's Birthday or Demons and Wizards or Look at Yourself, the self-titled, like all that stuff is just amazing. And Jason, you would love Man in the Wilderness. That's a great song. Dan, I love that stuff. I was showing a bunch of the Wood Nickel stuff because I mean that's classic independent. I love that stuff, right? Like, so Wood Nickel was an independent label out of Chicago, Jason, and they had a number of Chicago artists signed to the label, but they were responsible for signing Styx and putting out the first 4 or 5 Styx records. And then when Styx moved over to A&M, Wood Nickel went completely defunct. But it's a cool story of like, the tragedy of the independent record label. But in their earlier days, I mean, they were like, their first record, Styx's debut record, starts off with a 14-minute song. Like,
oh, that's ballsy.
Yeah, like their first record,
respectable way,
which samples, Fanfare for the Common Man. Like, Sticks? That Sticks? Yeah, it's called Movement for the Common Man. It's kind of crazy.
I'm still
Equinox
here.
is damn good, Dan. Damn good. In fact, my favorite song, Dan, so when I was ranking my top 10, my favorite Styx song comes off of Equinox, and it's Sweet Madam Blue. That's always been my favorite.
I'm still here.
Marsha makes ELP is another one. Yeah,
Yeah,
ELP, you can get
for
those
sure.
first, pretty much all the ELPs for nothing. Absolutely. No, I was just looking at Crystal Ball as well. Mine's not a gatefold unless they did some kind of special edition gatefold, but hopefully Sam's over there. He's over there searching. Sam's digging through his sticks collection. He's got nothing but twigs and berries.
Hold on.
Oh, well done. Well done.
He says, hold on. Send help. Jesus. Yeah, it's true. I love those records. I will say, because it's one of the only bands I could do a lot of them, but I might do a Def Leppard album ranking just to get the views, man. Just to get all those Def Leppard lovers out there loving my channel, man. We're on a push for 500 hoagies.
Chilliwack. Absolutely. That is everywhere. Chilliwack and Richard April Wine is also everywhere.
But here's the thing, Jason. If you want to think about me and VCLT, which you should be always thinking about, here's what I want more than anything, Jason. Unless you sent me like a literal package of like a piece of your flesh. What?
Look, fingernail do?
Oh, dude, just Dahmer this bitch. I don't care. Do whatever you want. My point is, but if you really want to make me get moist, what I will tell you is I don't care the band, but like April Wine, I think is a perfect example, right? Like I remember we were on a stream. I don't know if you were there or not, but I was talking to Rob and talking about like more than anything, I would love an original like anthem pressing of any Rush record. Like to me, I'm like, that is Grail, whatever, but it's like, yeah, like I want the original record from the country of origin that these bands were from, right? Like I have Rush's entire catalog on Mercury, but I would love the Canadian anthem pressing. That would be amazing. Same way with like April Wine. I don't know if they were on like a different label up there. But like any of that stuff, go ahead, make your list for me.
I'm making my notes here. Yeah.
Here's the thing. My birthday is Friday, Jason.
Birthday? Oh, okay.
So, figure that out.
Anthem Rush label. Okay. Or Rush. Anthem
Dan, I'll
label.
tell you, Man of Miracles was on my list, that title track. I love that song. That album I do like, but I think that is one of my favorite album covers ever. I'm going to hold on, Jason. Entertain the crowd. I want to grab this really quick.
I don't know what to say to the crowd. Hi, crowd. I've never been in charge before. I hope you're all doing well, and things are good.
It's like Sam's been looking for his $50 Styx records for 20 minutes.
It's not. It's okay. The reason I couldn't find it, it was like it had pushed itself to the very back of the collection here. It's not Paradise. It's Cornerstone.
Oh, Cornerstone, yeah.
And that's the one that shows up because it's got like the little, the kind of like the opening, like that. Have you seen that before? Is that how it normally is?
Hold on. Let me grab mine. 1 second.
I'll show you yours. You show me mine, or whatever. Yeah.
It's got this really cool sleeve, this inner sleeve that's like super like woo, But apparently, like according to Discogs just kept calling this like a special edition. I don't know why. Maybe I just put it in wrong. Maybe I'm just stupid.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's probably just Discogs being weird. But that has "Babe, I'm leaving, must be on my way."
Okay, so that became like the death of Styx. I freaking love that song. I think that is one of the most sugary, poppy bullshit songs ever.
Should I know other songs on this album? How does Lights go?
Hold on. What do you got here?
That's on side 1. That's Tommy Shaw.
It's funny. You really don't have a ton of hits on here. The other big "Boat on a River" is a great song, though. That was That's like Tommy's folk song. Okay. "Boat on a River" is great, but
I've never listened to this record.
But you know what? I mean, that's the thing is like you look at just the history of like album sales, and it's funny how many of these albums probably sold, went quintuple platinum because of one or two songs.
Well, that's kind of like the whole genre, isn't it? Like that AOR kind of thing.
You just talked that they're not AOR, Sam.
But first of all, did y'all think in your wildest dreams that I would be showing a Styx record in it?
No, this was very surprising.
Apparently, I also have Styx
cool.
2 is my other Styx album.
Oh, you have Styx 2, dude. That's their good era. That's before Tommy Shaw. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Styx 2. So
Now
I should spin this.
This is one of my favorite album covers of all time. I'll show you this. This was their
Is it Garrity?
Third or fourth. This is their fourth record, I think. This is Man of Miracles. This is just how freaking great is that?
That looks like a very traditional folk album. With a wizard.
You're a wizard, man. Yeah. All right. Let's do this. So yeah, I don't know where we're, but yeah, I know it's interesting though. There are so many of those. Like we've been on streams with all the people, right? That like will refuse to listen to, whether it's bands like Styx or Kansas or Journey or, any of these sort of quote unquote like AOR bands or whatever. Someone made a comment about AOR. I want to look at it really quick here. Losing track of time.
We're an hour in, just like last week. We've done what, a round and a half?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Gary.
Okay, Gary.
Dang, Gary.
We love you, Gary. Gary's
Yeah,
the best.
I'm sure.
Jason's too good for the crowd. You should have told him to do a video. Make an edit to the video. Gary needs to do a best of the rest is what he needs to do.
The cream of the crop.
Is this true? Do you have a rocker box?
I don't have any Chilliwack, and I don't know a lot about Chilliwack at all. I freaking love that song "Fly By Night." "Fly By Night" was a song that I was so
Rush?
blessed. You know when there's a song that you don't
Wait,
know
hold on.
the
Are you
name
talking
of, and like
the
pre-internet
Rush song?
No.
Okay.
Fly at night, "Fly By Night." What is it, Dan? The Chilliwack song, which is absolutely a great song, and it was kind of, I wouldn't say pre-internet, but it was one of those songs that you get in your head and you can't figure out what the hell it's called. It predated SoundHound or Shazam and all that kind of stuff. It would come on the radio, you'd be like, what the hell is this? Those glasses are distracting. Anyway, that's the only album I want by Chilliwack is the one with that song on it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Boat on the River. That's good stuff. Okay, everyone was on Aquarius. I don't even know if they just a Canadian label.
I
can't imagine they were. Oh my! He did it again.
You know who the oldest one of the group is, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you try restarting it and starting it again?
What the hell?
He's looking at it. Hey kids, help with. How do you get it off speaker?
You all talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
I don't know. Probably.
Have you shown just the one record, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll show some records.
Show your round two. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, small town. Most people know that, I guess, by now, since we talk way too much about my personal living conditions.
What's your address, Jason?
Yeah. Small town. Met a guy that is another record hound in town, and right up my alley in the sense that he's pretty nerdy about the condition and packaging and sleeves and all this type of shit. He reached out, said, I have some records, come and check them out. So I went out there. It was 50 records he was trying to get rid of. So I took a few home. You know what up until that point, I don't have in my collection, except for one greatest hits album, and it's a great greatest hits album, is I didn't have any, and I was waiting to find Rolling Stones albums. And so I came away with some 2 heavy hitters from him.
Oh, zipper and everything.
No zipper on this one. It's a reissue. It's kind of crappy, but there's still the outline of a penis, so that's okay. And then let it bleed.
That was the alternate name of the stream.
I'm sorry. Did somebody say outline of a penis?
Right there. So it was so great because I want what I need is Beggar's Banquet. Maybe I'll just cover that one up. So
the name of the
I
stream.
finally got some Stones albums in my collection. I had Hot Rocks, which is great. It's got all the songs I want to hear. I'm not a huge Stones guy. Like, if you ask me Stones versus Beatles, I'd probably choose Beatles, but I don't have any Beatles because I'm waiting because I'm a nerd to find the right versions of the albums, right? But I finally got some in my collection. I'm super stoked. As soon as I got them home, I spun the tracks. Like I haven't actually listened to them in order yet, but I had to hear "Gimme Shelter." I had to hear. I think the first thing I put on was what the hell was it? Let's see here. First thing I put on was
Sympathy for the Devil.
No, because that's on Beggar's Banquet.
That's
I
on
need
Beggars.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just
I
mute
put
myself.
on Wild Horses, Can't You Hear Me Knocking, and
That's
then
classic.
I put on
Moonlight Mile is my favorite Rolling Stone song.
Gimme
Yeah, it's classic.
Shelter. Yeah, that's fucking great. Like, there's so many good ones. I was so desperate for an album. Talk about shitty album covers. Like, I know this is iconic, but what the hell is that? And why do we think it's great? I don't know. It's like a
Yeah.
tire and it's like a horrible trifle that I would never want to eat.
And the last album to feature Brian Jones, even though it's very minimal.
Really?
Although it's Brian Jones' birthday today, so that's very fitting.
Anyone else have a birthday coming up we should talk about?
Yeah, Emma got one coming up.
Larry Graves today.
That's a good point. I want to point these out. So Babe Ruth, I don't know, Jason, they'd be up your alley. They're sort of part of that early.
You can't always get what you want. That was the first song I put on, and I'd never heard it on vinyl. And I got to say, even with my friggin' shitty, mediocre system, that was a wicked listening experience.
I have it on mono in the mono set.
Oh, right. You have the mono box. Yeah.
He said,
Look at your glasses.
Basically, they said you can't always get what you want, especially a good sound system.
Yeah, I know.
Jason's over there with his crossley on the end of his bed saying, 5 more minutes, Mom.
Oh, yeah. More Love for Moonlight. Yeah, it's a classic. I love that.
It's great tuning on that, too. And I think it's Mick playing the acoustic lead part on that.
You know, they are one of those bands. There's a lot of them, right? Of like, you almost get, I don't want to say tired of the hits because you're like, what is it, like Hot Rocks or whatever? Like those, the greatest hits, man. I mean, that's like just a great, like, it's like a party record, right? Like you got people over, you don't want to confuse anybody, but more and more I listen to the Stones, man, they're just like the deeper cuts are just freaking great, man.
I don't know about you,
and that's where I totally fall on the sword and fell short on the Stones is all I knew. And same with the Beatles, to be honest. Like, I don't know the deep cuts. And I haven't listened to a proper Stones album front to back to experience like what they're trying to do. I'm such a, proponent of, listening to the album experience, start to back, and Long Lost, Sam's video on Long Lost, like how it says, yes, go. We're going to cry a little bit, come back in about 5 minutes. There is a reason why artists put albums in a particular order, and I would like to think that the Stones abide by that too, even though they're your classic blues rock kind of band. But I have yet to sit down with a Stones album and go front to back. However, they have such a depth of a catalog. It's just unbelievable. That Hot Rocks album, it does. You can say it's a party album, and you're not wrong, but you can't put that on and want to skip a song. Like every hit is like something you want to hear.
Well, that's a good segue for whenever Alex decides to get to my turn to show an album that I like the album. I like all the songs on the album, but it's a terrible track listing, and it's like the thing that I would change on it. I look so stupid. These are my cheap free sunglasses, but
they look like they look pretty cheap.
They're very cheap. These are not what I wear.
Okay, well, I like how it's like the problem is you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I look stupid in my cheap sunglasses, as if like if they were if you were wearing like whatever nice ones, that would be totally cool. That you're wearing them at.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my Bob Dylan Ray-Bans in the car.
Your Frokleys.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam. It's your turn.
But yeah, with that, this is another album I listened to the last couple of days. Everybody knows I'm a fan of Johnny M, also known as Johnny Mayer, also known as John Mayer.
Yeah.
His second to most recent album was called. And first of all, look at that terrible album cover.
It's pretty bad, Sam.
It's called The Search for Everything. He has like a tape measure around his head. Looks like he's getting fitted for a fedora or something. And he's shirtless, so I don't really get it at all.
That's why people don't like him.
Most people don't like him. This was his album. He had 2 really good albums before this called born and raised in Paradise Valley, which I love. They're like his folky. I've talked about him 100 times. His folky, like Laurel Canyon kind of albums. And this album does have, it has a song called, it's a stupid title, called Emoji of a Wave. But it has background vocals from Al Jardine and his son, Matt Jardine. Of course, Al being from the Beach Boys. And this is a really weird album because he announced that it was 2019, I think is when this album came out. 2017, wow. And he was like, you know, I'm going to release, he essentially said he was going to release like 40 songs, like every, like one a month for like 2 years or like whatever he was going to do. And then he ends up releasing like 4 in a month. And then he says, nah, we're just going to release an album. He calls this volume 1. Again, it's called The Search for Everything. But again, it's got some really cool songs. A couple of songs were like digital singles that he kind of tacked on to the album. So that there were a couple of songs that were already like 2 years old on this anyway. But it went from like a really kind of like a funky little song called Still Feel Like Your Man. And then it goes into Emoji of a Wave, which is like this beautiful ballad, which like sounds like it should be the end of an album. And then he does a song like on track 4 that could also be an album opener. He does like 2 or 3 songs that could be closers, like in the middle of the album. It doesn't make sense. It's one of those albums like I listen to it and I feel like I'm listening to a catalog on shuffle. And you know, again, Mayer is like of the camp of people like the old school mindset of keeping an album's running order as part of the art. And he had done that on the last 2 records, and he did it kind of on his most recent record, which was called
what was that called?
Shoot. It was kind of like an 80s kind of
yeah, what the hell was that?
Shoot. Crap. Hold on.
Are you talking about the one that had
Maren Morris was on it?
Yeah, and the one that just came out 3 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, Sob Rock.
It had the nice price, like
yeah. And it had like Greg Philomangi is like on the keyboards. Like he had like much of like
I like the single on that. It was okay.
Yeah, and like Last Train Home was what that was called. And that's kind of cool. And you know, it had like this 80s feel to it and everything. But this album, for some reason, it was like a weird like merging of his like the 2 folk rock albums that he came out with, and then like Sob Rock, which was going to come later with like a lot of synth and that sort of stuff. So it was almost like he's like, here's you know 12 songs, let's just throw them on the album. However the record company decides to put them on there, I don't really care. That's kind of how it came across. But if I was to reorganize this, it would be a really solid listen. But it doesn't flow the way I want it to. So all I have to say, check out this album.
Something funny.
Here's the feeling good.
Here's the feeling good all the time. Yeah, well, you know, I have a
Yo-Yo Ma.
No.
Okay, Jason.
No worries. You got anything else over there, Sam?
Well, I've got all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff. Actually, I'll talk about Jason now for a second. Jason, the man over there in the corner, sent me this lovely record, which I spun last night. This is obviously, you know, bringing it all back home. Bob Dylan. Jason showed this in a video a couple weeks ago on a stream.
That there, one of them Columbia 2 wires, baby girl.
It's got. Yeah, it's got the double optical there.
Double. Look at them irises or iris eyes.
I don't want the world. No,
you and me both. Okay.
Welcome to the second hour of the Ménage à Trois, ladies and gentlemen.
Does it play through good?
But Rob has been wanting to get on the stream for like the last 45 minutes, and then he keeps listening. It's like, you know what, I'm good. But no, thank you again, Jason. This is awesome, man.
Man, I love Bob Dylan, and you know, like to a pretty great degree, but the fact that you don't own everything by him on vinyl is a crime. And when I find the albums you don't have, they'll be going your way.
Well, Send them my way, and if they have eyes on them, I'll take them more. I like my albums like I like my potatoes. Lots of eyes.
That's messy. Sam, I know you have because you have the CD box set of Budokan, right? The new one.
I do. Yeah, it was a Christmas gift. That was my big gift.
You know me, I'm always scoping those deals.
Oh yeah.
Like sending you so you get your $9.
No, I didn't pay for it, so whatever you tell me won't hurt me too much.
Well, perfect. But I mean, it's not like it's not like a $9 Paul Simon record. But they have. So what I appreciate is that I should just go do it. What I should do is drink another like 3 beers, and then instead of getting Uber Eats, I just go buy a record. I mean, it's like the same thing, right? Except one's better for me than the other.
Yeah, we'll leave that to the imagination.
I'd say. But the point is they have. I appreciate that another Budokan. It's not a reissue. It's 2 LPs of unreleased that wasn't on the original.
Yeah, the vinyl is none of the original tracks.
But the vinyl of another Budokan was like $45-$50.
Yeah, I believe it.
I checked earlier today, $25.
Did you get it?
Sam, I just told you I might drink 3 more beers and do it. Jesus, what do you think I'm going to get 2?
Should I get Budokan on vinyl?
No, you don't even like Bob Dylan, Jason.
No, you can get the original first. You can get it for cheap. And then
I have
go
access to it right now. I just didn't grab it the other day, but it's there for $5.
Yeah, I don't even have the original, Sam.
I don't either. I don't either.
Well, you don't need it now.
I don't, because I mean it's kind of like the same thing too with like the bootleg series of like the Rolling Thunder Review that came out. Like I had like that box set that came out with like 10 CDs of like the complete Rolling Thunder concerts. But the completest for Bob Dylan and me, I'm like, well, I don't have that bootleg series, even though like I have all the music. Like, I'm sure y'all have hit that mark too. I mean, I know Jason's not really a box set guy, if I'm remembering correctly.
That's it. That's totally inaccurate, but go ahead.
well, so like, what do you think about that? Like, again, like I've got this box set of like 10 CDs that has the bootleg material in it. But that's like one of like the last couple of bootlegs that I'm missing.
But not all box sets are created equal, you know?
Well, no.
Like, from what I've understood, Sam, you'd be better. But like the Dylan Budokan box set was like everything from those like however many shows.
Yeah,
right?
it's 4 shows.
Opposed to like I have a 4 or 5 LP box set where they play the same demo of the same damn song 300 times.
Yeah, that's frustrating because like that again, like with like the deluxe box sets of Dylan, I'm only missing one of like the mega sets.
Right.
And it's the Cutting Edge, which is like the 1965-66 sessions, and like that's one of the larger ones. And actually, when that one came out, because of like how like detailed it was, that's kind of like when the Bob Dylan camp said, you know, we're not going to make box sets like that anymore. And that's when like they ended up releasing the Traveling Through 2 CD set of like the Nashville Skyline Johnny Cash sessions. And then they completely went back to their old formula of doing these like, you know, 8 CD sets. So like that was like a one-time deal. So I don't know. I still want the Cutting Edge at some point, but like I've got to wait for it to be like $80 or less.
I got it.
It's still like it's still like $120.
Because that's a Cutting Edge is what, 65, 66?
I just said that.
I wasn't listening. That's what I'm saying.
To quote you know, our host here about my you know, Budokan.
Sorry, what year is it, Sam?
2024.
No, what year is the Cutting Edge?
65, 66.
That's what I just asked. I was confirming what you said.
I don't like the mom and dad fight.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to.
All right. Well, this one's going out. It's my turn.
Sure.
This is going out to you. Just showed your bid. You just showed your.
One second. I just want to know from Sam on that album. Can you rank your top 3 from that album, songs on that album?
Bringing it all back home.
Yeah.
Subterranean. It's hard to not put that one in there. I don't know that I can put them in order.
Sure. Just give me 3 randomly.
It's all right, Ma. Because I love that line about the president of the United States having to stand naked, because you know, giggity. And then maybe Love Minus Zero. Yeah.
What a wicked album! Oh my God, when I first get introduced to Dylan, a buddy had made a mixed CD, and It's All Right, Ma was on there, and that is freaking.
Yeah, I know Alex just showed before the flood on one of his more recent videos of 50 albums turning 50, and that version of It's All Right Ma on that record, that's my favorite. Dylan just belts it.
So good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
Getting a refill.
Okay. Good man. Well, this is for Scott. Scott over there at DJ Von Virgo, who's become one of my favorite people. For sure. And a lot of that is because did you both just leave? I hate y'all. This is the shit I deal with. Every damn time. Go ahead. On the week of my birthday. Sam, go get your beer. Just go get it. You know what? I'm gonna go because they don't care about me anyway. But you people are here. Oh, and Jason left again.
No, I'm listening. I'm serious. I'm here.
I know, but Jason left again. That's real.
He's old.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. He left. He's not even at the damn computer. Oh man, Scott,
what a stream!
This one's for you, man, because I gotta tell you, Scott. Like when I did your soul tag, I fell into like a hole in the best of holes. Well, you know what I mean. There's a few other holes that would have been better, but in terms of the sake of the argument, yes. But what I will say is, look, that's all I needed, right? Like,
that's awesome.
Thank you, Richard. My God, thank God Richard said that. I feel a little bit better about myself.
Also, my eyes are real blurry. These are terrible.
The fives and fives that people go wild. Okay, so Sam talked a little. No, he didn't. We generally speaking, they are. Jason talked a little bit about coal mine. I was talking a little bit about coal mine and Karma Chief. Scott, I know you're a big coal mine fan. You're all in on the coal mine stuff. I know. I showed this for a response to your soul tag, which is the same thing you showed. Which, as we blab about coal mine, which I feel like I've become an unofficial mouthpiece for them. Stay tuned.
Keep it going.
Stay tuned for more later. If you're curious on coal mine, I cannot recommend this type of stuff enough. They do their comps. I mean, they are genuine comps of these that they used to do for Record Store Day in the color variant, but they're readily available on their website all the time. Is a compilation. Usually they're double or triple LPs. They still release 7 inches, like 45s, which is insane to me. Recently got one for free, which was kind of crazy. But Scott, this one's for you. Actually, 2 for you, Scott, because apparently it's all about you today. You showed this, Scott. I don't even know if you remember when you did my prog tag, because you're such a good friend and a good soul. You showed this Peter Gabriel live record that came out for Record Store Day a couple years ago with the Blood Orchestra or whatever it's called. Yeah, Blood Orchestra by Ben Foster, who conducted it. And so I fell in love with Peter Gabriel when I saw him last September, and so didn't pick this up a couple years ago when this came out. But I got this because it was in like one of the discount bins at the local store, and I was like, oh, well, I love Peter Gabriel, and Scott talked about this. I freaking loved this. I mean, this is 3 LPs of Peter Gabriel with an orchestra, getting into the feels, getting all emotional. I freaking loved this. I remember actually texting Jason and Sam about this, and I was like, guys, it's Tuesday, and I think I'm crying, which is fairly normal for me, but not at noon, So,
and that was before we listened to the record.
I want to say that now. This one, you damn right, man. We ain't getting no shaft. You hell right. The soul slabs are great. I hope they get back to maybe doing a different volume of them, but I don't even know if I'm allowed to show this. So for allowed to show it, I'm such a geek. For those who don't know what the coal mine thing, it all started because the Coal Mine Records owner, who's also the owner of Plaid Room Records, was in a band in grad school. They're like a funky jazz band called the Jive Turkeys, because why not?
Jason, settle down.
And this was the record here, Bread and Butter, Jive Turkeys. This is the classic on the Turkey Gravy vinyl. Did I open this? This might still be sealed. I think I still have that sealed because I'm a nerd. But why, get these Turkey Gravy ones when you can get motherfucking promos? Look at that. This is why I love, among all the reasons that I love Coal Mine Records, They are an independent label that still does the old school promotional copy, not for sale. Not only that, they still do a whole ass white label promo. Demo only, not for sale, all that stuff. So I'm sitting here with sort of where it all began with Coal Mine, with the Jive Turkeys. This is Coal Mine 1203 or 12,003. The first two were 45s. And this is their first LP that they released. And it's a freaking promo. I'm obsessed with this. Funky, jazzy. And of course, for me too, y'all know I'm from Ohio. It's heavy Ohio organ funk. I mean, come on. That's the shit right there. That's the shit I'm into. All in on it. That's for you, Scott. I love you. Good day. Who's next?
Okay, well, hang on a second. So back to Coal Mine. Is it the Sinceres? The what? Yeah.
Yeah, the Sinceres. Yeah, so theirs comes out here in about a month. Yeah.
Yeah. I am so fucking pumped for that.
I'm pissed. Because they sold out of their Coal Mine web store exclusive like that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to go to my local and get the promo.
Speaking of selling out, I was kind of unrelated, but I think I mentioned to y'all that I wanted to see. Well, I was thinking about seeing Vampire Weekend, and they were going to be in Charlottesville. The tickets were supposed to go on sale to the public Friday last week, and then so like the venue posts, they say, "Yeah, we're almost sold out." This was during the pre-sale, like people that had like city cards that like had the pre-sale.
So the rich people.
It was through Ticketmaster, yeah. And like literally, I went on the website. I could only get like general admission tickets if I had the city card passcode, and I didn't. And they sold out literally before 10 a.m. the day that public on sale happened.
Bullshit.
What is like here? It's a good question for you guys in the States, south of my border. So if you're going
and the country below Canada,
yeah. So Alex, if you go to a show in like, what is the prominent music venue in Columbus? Like is there like a stadium kind of atmosphere there? Like the Blue Jackets play? Is that where concerts play or whatever?
Look at you with the hockey knowledge, you typical Canadian left winger, pot smoking BCer. Yeah. So
average ticket price for a concert at that arena.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so there's that one it's called Nationwide. That's where I saw Peter Gabriel, Roger Waters, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. There was, it's like the 18,000, 19,000, 20,000 seat arena. But then also literally down the street is called the Schottenstein Center, which is where Ohio State basketball plays. So it's the Ohio State arena, typically same size, maybe a slight, maybe 17, 18,000, but still pretty huge. There's a good amount of concerts that are there as well. But those concerts, I mean, I think I paid $60-$70 to see some of those artists. But yes, but that's because like they didn't sell out, they were resale, that type of stuff. But like Bruce Springsteen's playing at the Nationwide where Jackets play, and it's like $600, $700. Same thing. Aerosmith is playing at the Schottenstein Center. Same thing. Like it is inaccessible. So it doesn't necessarily imply, that's how much things are going to be. But that's for those big arena shows. For some of the smaller venue theater / like smaller amphitheater type places, you're looking average anywhere from $40 to $70 probably.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah, no, because I got the Pearl Jam tickets. That was like a $200 ticket. And then I just got a buddy and I are going to see the National with War on Drugs. And that ended up being like a $280 ticket. And
wait,
I'm like, holy shit.
It's the National with the War on Drugs?
Yeah. And the Rogers. Dan, it's at the Rogers.
Dude, I love the War on Drugs, dude.
I don't know that, and I don't know shit about the War on Drugs, and I'm sorry to say that. I know,
we live in BC, which is a pot-smoking province.
I know. Why would there be a war on it?
Why would there be a war?
Jason care about the War on Drugs. He's a Reagan guy. Okay.
but like $200 a ticket, it's like Jesus Christ, like it's tough to handle, man. It's tough.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's just weird, man. Because I don't know, Sam, you might get this because I feel like you've seen Jesus. Was that your Jason? Was that your swallow?
Was it?
Did you hear that, Sam?
Yeah. It was a whirlpool.
Sorry. Apologies, maybe.
I guess. Or not. You're welcome.
It's ASMR now, boys.
Yeah. What is that? What does ASMR actually mean?
No, I don't know.
We were both trying to make a joke.
In the first hour,
audio sensory memory recognition.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, that's fine. But like it depends, right? Because there's Sam, I was mentioning you because you have like I think some probably like historic theaters in and around your area, which are always kind of all over the place. Like I saw, it depends on the artist. Like at one of our local theaters, the Palace, I saw Head in the Heart for $60-$70.
Yep.
But then Dylan was there 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like, $200-$300.
Yeah.
Same venue,
Yeah.
So it's just, which makes sense, but
yeah, I mean, like like I've done several reviews of a place called the Harvester, which is in Rocky Mount, Virginia. It used to be an old back in the day, like it used to show like International Harvester tractors, oh geez, and they have everybody from like bluegrass people. I mean, Willie Nelson was there at one point. They've had all sorts of people. And it varies. I mean, it goes from like $60 to $200 because essentially like you're paying for like what would normally be like the first 10 rows of a huge venue, like where you would see Willie Nelson, so
yeah,
it's again one of those like more historic kind of things.
Yeah, I would interrupt you. This is a really good, I think, comparison. Very similar. The Jazz Dispensary releases, those are always released on Record Store Day through Jazz Dispensary, which is a subsidiary of Kraft. But Sam, keep it together for once in your damn life, all right, please.
I don't have Rob here yelling at me.
Yeah, I was like, Sam, I wasn't laughing when you were talking. Okay. Okay. I'll say boy.
I'll say boy.
Look at that. Foghorn Cleghorn over here.
What is the Jive Turkeys like? Like, what is that album?
What?
Describe that album to us.
Oh, I would love to. Jason, the Jive Turkeys is heavy Ohio organ funk.
So many organs.
I will. Yes. But no, I will say it's a good point. So I always pick up, I don't know, Sam, somebody, all right. He's got to go. Someone shut him down.
You got to stay on. I can leave, but you have to stay
Keep
on.
talking, Alex. Keep talking.
Watching Beer and Vinyl, I'll show you a heavy Ohio organ. It's like
man.
But this is correct. Let's just go there. This is correct.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. No.
Okay.
I saw War on Drugs first time a couple of years. I mean, they've been like and talk about like bands or records that have come out over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Like War on Drugs has been probably my favorite. I mean, I played their last 3 records. They're like the
give me the primer on them. Pretend I know nothing because I really don't. I just know that I know in the VC people seem to like War on Drugs. I hear their name a lot. I hear a lot of respect thrown their way. What is their deal?
Well, people in the VC, we like to make political statements and we love drugs, and so it's the whole thing. No, well, so here's what funny thing. They started as a super like droney, psychedelic, almost noisy band with Kurt Vile. Kurt Vile ended up leaving after the first record, And then they sort of transitioned from there and now have sort of evolved into like this very cool, I think, combination of, I would call it like psychedelic Americana synth pop.
Holy shit! What a label.
Does that? I mean, I don't know, Sam. I don't know if you listen at all, but Adam Granduciel or whatever his name is, I think is just absolutely brilliant. He's kind of the leader. I mean, he writes everything, but he's very, very depressed, which I love. I think that makes for the best songwriting, personally. Like, I don't want to hear people write happy songs. I mean, think about your favorite songs. How many of them are happy?
Because you love power pop.
Fair. But especially the ballads.
Yeah, 13 by Big Stars.
Like, yeah, 13's a real, okay. It's like, yeah, I showed that Raspberries record the other day.
I'm crying laughing. Jeez.
But it is interesting. Like the most recent record, I think I think any of their previous 3 records. So I Don't Live Here Anymore. Jesus, this is what happens when you drink too many PBRs. It's like I can't think of them. But their last 3 records are so good that it is that weird combination. I mean, it's singer-songwritery, but it's layered, a little psychedelic, just in sort of the textures and tones that are used, not in like the trippy way. But I could not get enough of the last 3 records. Someone's gonna correct me. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Lost in the Dream is my favorite. Slave Ambient is really, really good, but that is coming from their, again, that droney psychedelic side. Very good.
That is like total news to me. I didn't know that you would say the word psych involved in that. The one song I know, I don't even know the title of it. I just like, oh yeah, that's the War on Drugs. I'm like super stoked now, and thank you, Richard. I will definitely check that one out.
We'll see. Jason.
Okay. While you are talking, I am going to leave this up, and I'm going to do this because Kyle, you are a good man and a smart man, and I'm going to figure this out. 1 second.
No, but like if you ever end up listening to that Andrew Gabbard album, if we're going to keep talking,
I do listen to it on the occasion. Like it was in my truck today when I was streaming it. Yeah.
So because of that, I'm going to need you to listen to those first few Michael Nesmith albums, because I consider Andrew Gabbard, like, I mean, I did like my initial like talk about that album whenever, sometime last year. I compared him to like Nesmith meets the Beach Boys, with like a lot of like the later 60s post Pet Sounds Beach Boys.
So what albums from Nesmith? Like, would you say the first?
I mean, the first 3, they call them like the Red, White, and Blue trilogy. So like it's Magnetic South, Loose Salute, and Nevada Fighter. But really, like the trippiest of like those early Nesmith albums is his 4th, which is called Tantamount to Treason. It's got like some cool like vocal effects on it and everything, but it's like that psych country kind of sound with some really cool production on it. And I know that you like Circle Sky, which obviously was like a Nesmith tune from Head, but yeah, those first 4 Nesmith albums, I mean, it's psych country. It's got some cool. It's that cosmic country that I talk about.
Cosmic country. How do you not? How does someone not like the term cosmic country? That sounds so good.
It makes me want to wear like a cool, like trippy, like psychedelic, like nudie suit, like the old Western
put your
guys.
Sunglasses back on, that kind of a thing. Yes.
Although I swear these things have made me blind. This is kind of like Alex wore his Valentine's glasses a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. These were given to me at like at a conference, and they are real bad. But.
Okay, I had to look this up now. Granted, Jason, I would say my favorite War on Drugs record, again, I think their last 3 are perfect. I love them all so much. But to me, Lost in the Dream is my personal favorite. I'm not going to say it's their best. It's just my personal favorite. I think they're all wonderful. But let's talk. This is actually really good. I've always noticed this, Kyle, but this is so good. So this is Lost in the Dream album cover. And as Kyle mentioned, he's like, there's a War on Drugs record that kind of has a similar album cover of an Opeth record. Now, Opeth is a Swedish progressive death metal band.
Oh, fuck. How do you know this shit?
That's pretty close.
Wow.
Oh, crazy.
Right? Well, Kyle, this has got to be what you were thinking of, right, brother?
That's kind of like the Avett Brothers record, True Sadness, is very similar to a Clash record.
Yes. Is it? No, not Give Him Enough Rope. No, is it Give Him Enough Rope or the other one?
Actually, Larry Graves had a reel up today on social media where he was listening to
Yes.
that tonight, and I've always made that connection. I don't know if it was intentional because Scott Avett did the artwork for it, but it's very similar with like that red and yellow and blue.
Yes.
Like
No, I
Romanian
think Give Him Enough
flag.
Rope was the last one. I know totally exactly what you're talking
Doesn't
about.
it have like it has like UFOs or something on it? Doesn't it?
Yeah. No, that's a great. Yeah. God, what was that? Because was it the one after London Calling?
Hold on, I'm on it.
We're on it. And it wasn't Sandinista. It wasn't Combat Rock.
Give him enough rope. Yeah.
It was Give Him Enough Rope. Okay.
Yeah, with like the Western, like the dude is like laying in the desert. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Scott, then you should very well know that they just announced. So what, Sam? I didn't listen to the single. It's fine.
It's kind of
Fine.
punky. Like they're calling it like their punk rock single.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Really? I didn't listen to it yet, but that seems very bizarre.
It's interesting. It's not my favorite, but like the album True Sadness had a lot of different genres on it. And I think this is going to kind of be like that. It's only 9 tracks, the record, which I'm a little disappointed with.
Sam, I know you're a huge Avett fan. I am too. I think like this is going to sound terrible, but like I prefer when like my favorite are the Gleam stuff. I prefer when they stick to that folky
Acoustic,
indie Americana acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
True Sadness was an interesting one because True Sadness had like No Hard Feelings on it, right?
Yeah.
It's got No Hard Feelings. It's got another great ballad, I think. I forget what it's called.
True. I mean, it's got crap. Another ballad. I Wish I Was.
I Wish I Was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish I Was a Sweater. I love. Yeah. I mean, I guess ballad, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
that last line. I love you. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. That is like
Jason,
the stuff I love.
Friday night. I'm gonna make Jason. I'm gonna send that to you right now, Jason. It's too bad, man.
But it's like that is what I just want that all the time. And
week.
even the title track to True Sadness, I was like, meh. And I think I also, because it was a big single for them, I never really got the whole Ain't No Man or whatever.
Satan Pulls the Strings was another big one.
Yeah.
Sam,
those are all great tunes live. Go ahead, Jason.
South yet? Have you tried the Dead South yet? Have you done that?
I live in the Dead South, Jason.
I know. I
No,
just
I
can't
haven't.
help but think of you every time. And I'm obviously like subbed up on Instagram and all that stuff, and they have a new album and they're doing the tour, and it's just like wicked folk Americana bluegrass stuff. You know, they do the full thing where they wear the outfits to complement the actual music. They just played the Rhyme a few weeks ago. Like these guys, and they're from Canada because that's the best. But
Regina, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Dead South, my God, these guys are friggin' fantastic. I need to order some of their shit. I don't have anything. I just stream them, but the Dead South, check that shit out.
I've got them pulled up. And they all look like they're dressed like Jeremiah Freights and the Lumineers with their suspenders. But
yeah, the suspender thing, yeah.
Yeah, Scott, I Am Loving You is like, it's definitely like their commercial breakthrough. And it's interesting because like this new album that's coming out, it's self-titled and it's their first since 2007. That is, it's like
the Carpenter?
Huh?
Wait, sorry, go ahead, Sam.
No, I was gonna say like it's their first that's being released on Ramsar Records, which is out of their hometown of Concord, North Carolina. But it's also still got the Rick Rubin production on it, so it's like an affiliate of American Records, which is Rick Rubin's label.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott, really? Yeah, I'm hoping that they announce more DC / Northern Virginia shows. They haven't finished releasing their tour, but I'm assuming they're going to release a lot more dates now that this new album has been announced for May 17th, the day after my 30th birthday.
Oh, geez, celebrate that.
I will not.
Well, yeah, I'll say, as Jason leaves once again for about the 40th time tonight, I will tell you, yes, Lost in the Dream, very similar to Lost in a Dream, which is very similar to Stupid Dream. I have that record. That is, first of all, it's a great record for Porcupine Tree. That's one of my favorite album covers, though, too. I love the illustration, painting, whatever you want to call it on that record. Absolutely amazing. Frightened Rabbit. I do not know about Frightened Rabbit.
Is that like, never mind.
I'm going to say it's a band or an artist. But okay. Well, since Mike Seth Spins is here and seems to be, we've talked about King Giz and the Lizard Wiz a couple of times of like could see ourselves. Speaking for myself, I could see Sam wouldn't see himself. I would see myself getting into this band, but like I don't know where to start, and maybe that's the joke. Is it'd be like you can start anywhere, it's all good. But like they are one of those bands that's put out 50 million records and 16 a year, and it's like I don't
That's
even know
right.
where to
Yeah.
go.
Mike
Oh,
from the Indie
gosh,
Group
there
makes
he
fun
is.
of that every week. They have an album coming out. Yeah.
Jason, you came in with the jump scare, man.
Oh man,
Yes, it was.
Ooh.
Ooh, a Scottish indie rock. That could be you, Sam. You could do
Trying to
that.
grab it.
Aye,
There's
laddie.
many I think our peanut gallery kicks ass. Like, there's so many recommendations like that I take from you guys. Like, I'll take a screenshot of like the chat, and then like I can write it down after. I'll check that shit out too.
Also, for those that speaking of Lumineers, I posted this on my social media the other day. The Lumineers just released a cool single on Dual Tone Records, which is affiliated with like Magnolia Record Company. And this is it's a 4-song 45. Essentially celebrating they had 1 billion streams of their songs Ho Hey and Ophelia from their first 2 records. Really,
Ophelia.
so it's cool because like the back cover is like the Cleopatra album cover, the front is like from the first album, but it has the songs Ho Hey and Ophelia on them, like as they appeared on the album, and on this really, really cool 45. And
I saw you spinning that earlier. That's beautiful.
I'm a Lumineers
nice.
completist, kind of. And this has an unreleased version of Ho Hey live, and then it's got this really cool version of Ophelia with horns attached to it. It's the same vocal as the Cleopatra single, but it's got these like cool, this big brass section on it. But
Sam, does the Ho Hey Live have like great audio of the audience doing the Ho Hey stuff?
No, actually, it sounds it's more. It says that it's called Ho Hey Live at Day Trotter, which I'm not really sure. So it sounds a little bit.
You say
more,
Day Trotter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know if that's like a studio. Like the National did Day Trotter sessions, and they did a bunch of like great anyway.
It's very stripped back, like because like on the record, like when they go ho, and like it sounds like it's very like loud and echoed. This one, it's very like it's just like you can hear like the 2 voices doing it, and that's it.
They scream ho.
Do you guys have examples of like, just because that 45 is like a beautiful color? Do you guys have records in your collection where the colored vinyl is shit and it just looks like, not sound quality, but just the color is garbage?
Ooh.
Because I do. And you know what? It's really disappointing because what it is the second album by the Black Pumas. The Black Pumas second album I have, the color variant is just awful. It's just so bad.
Well, the other thing with that though, Jason, is that is probably one of 300 color variants that they did of it, right? Like
you're not wrong, yeah.
Because they did, they got the Barnes and Noble exclusive, and then the indie exclusive, and then the Taco Bell exclusive.
Comics,
they got
Amazon, yeah.
They got the black bean variant.
They got the Cracker Barrel exclusive. They got all that stuff.
Hey, I went there tonight. So no, this is interesting because actually it's not because the color is bad. Actually, it's the Lumineers. So this is the first album that was just released last year. It was the 10th anniversary edition. So it was a double record set. So it had a few demos, and I think it had a couple of live tracks as well. But it was supposed to be like on this like purple, like this deep purple, like
Okay.
So, but you can see look, like this looks, for all intents and purposes, this looks black.
Yeah.
It's like, you can see it, but it like on the turntable, it looks black, and you're like, oh, that's it's kind of like they gypped me out of a cool color variant, because like on the website it looked really cool, but the second record is even like worse. Like it looks like this looks completely black, but it truly is a very, very, very dark purple, when in reality it should be, this like really vibrant purple kind of tie dye. I love that Jason asked this question and then disappeared.
His leads, yeah.
It's kind of like our, texting with him off camera.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can see that this one is a little bit more colored, but anyway, that's my
hard to. Well, I don't know if it's showing up on video at all, but
yeah, it's
hard
not great. But it's still cool to have the extra tracks. There's Jason, the little.
Yeah. I heard all that shit. Like, look at this garbage. Like, look at this. This is hideous.
Yeah, but that's because you bought an Amazon exclusive, Jason.
Well, I'm sorry, that's all I got access to, and it's friggin' brutal.
Jason supporting his independent record
store. I
store.
think I even put it on my Instagram stories, and I'm trying to I don't even want to show the friggin' color of it. Like, how bad is that? Come on, like whatever guy in Memphis pressing plant put the friggin'
Oh man,
I don't know, whatever.
I will say I gotta. Jason, since you're taking notes this stream, obviously, make sure you write down. I mean, listen, and as Sam's out bopping around doing whatever he's doing, very devastatingly dark and intense songs, but they're an indie band from Scotland. I'm into it. Write that down.
When he said that, I was like, I'm all in. Like, this sounds totally awesome.
Well,
okay,
I appreciate the clarification here, my friend. And also, it doesn't make this any easier for me. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that's okay.
Hi, Sam.
Oh, he's back.
It's a night, boys.
What was that Scott said there? From some.
Well, and also, as you may or may not know, Adrian Quesada from Black Pumas. Black Pumas were a coal mine artist. They did a 45 with coal mine records. So if you look, Jason, do you have that record sleeve in front of you, or just pull out the wax? On the back of it, you should see a Coal Mine Records logo.
Major look, Jason.
I see nothing.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I don't know, Jason. You see this? Emma over at the famous 8 Vinyl Low. She's digging into some Yo-Yo Ma tonight.
Why am I?
I need a refill, Emma. Is someone picking up on our fucking vibe here?
Yo-Yo Ma.
God,
it's Fright
I
Night.
hardly knew her.
Isn't that the same episode? Yo-Yo Ma, it's Fright Night. But that's when he has the concussion. And he said, "You just said Yo-Yo Ma. He's the cellist."
All right. Well, back to Scott here. Jason leaves once again.
Why am I big?
But Adrian Quesada also, he produced I think it was a Karma Chief / Coal Mine record last year from I think his name's Rudy Deanda. Scott, I don't know if you know that, called Closet Botanist. And apparently he's like a soul singer, but an actual botanist. But it was produced by Adrian. That's one of the only 2023 releases I don't have yet. So there's that. Oh no, guys, Dad's here.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay.
So closet botanist was something I wrote down from what last week, maybe we mentioned it. So I literally streamed that last couple of days. That's incredible stuff. Good stuff. Like,
you listen to Closet Botanist?
I just like the last 2 days, I wrote it down. I didn't even know what the hell I wrote down, but I wrote it down and it was in my truck. These random pieces of paper with shit to stream when I'm driving. Yeah. And Closet Botanist, the last couple of days I was listening to. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes. That's I mean, that's, I think, Karma Chief. And then that was produced by Adrian Quesada. And I'll say this too. This is not to, I'm pimping. Y'all know I'm pimping always. Spending cheese.
Cheese.
This blew my freaking mind. Scott, I'm at you out there. Just take all these notes, man. Especially if y'all are on that Coal Mine / Karma Chief website, whatever you want to do. I was all in on Pale J, Jason's alter ego. This is freaking fantastic. He's kind of this gentleman's leading into like the whole similar anonymity thing, with like the Masked Man. Who's the guy that did Pony and Bronco? I can't think of his name right now.
Orville Peck.
Orville Peck, kind of leaning into like a similar
My favorite popcorn brand.
not So-
there's some good comments. Our friggin' peanut gallery is the shit. I love
this
it.
this blew my friggin' mind. I was all in on this, and yes, this is another white label promo. Because I'm a baby back rib, and
I don't know what that means.
man, I will say. So again, another singer out there. Yeah, man, this was Pale J, Bewilderment. This is most recent. This came out last year. Absolutely insane. Blew my mind. Fun
Notice
fact: it says that the hold on, relax, Sam. I know you got something to say.
Richard.
Here at the bottom,
Who's this Richard guy? Richard's awesome. I love Richard.
it says sleeve design by like Leroy Conroy or whatever. That is Terry Cole. That is the owner of
No
Coal
way.
Mine Plaid Room. So
no, it's what I have to say is not important. But I'm saying is Rob comes to the show with very little time left, and he's immediately assuming that we're going to let him into the party late.
Don't send me a link or anything.
it's like, hold on,
He's out there in
How's
Vegas.
Vegas? How many strip clubs you been to there, Rob?
How many YouTube shows? Yeah.
Oh God. Whose turn is it? Is there still
I was
turns?
gonna say, yeah, check your inbox, man. If you're lucky, then your email.
Just show a record, Jason. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
at this
anything.
point.
Who's got something good?
No, I got something. I'm going to lean heavily on Alex for this. Alex, pay attention. You have a beer there. You're good to go.
I need a refill. Hold your ass.
Okay.
And
All right.
then
I'll
wait a
just keep
minute.
talking though. So I am late to the game on this band. I've heard this band's name forever. Everyone that's watching is going to know this band well, way more than I do. I have 2 albums. I have their debut, and I think it's their 3rd album. And then I finally got a copy of, I think, their 4th album. And I was on my video today, and that's Aqualung. My God. Alex, can you just go ahead and just ramble on about how great this freaking album is? Like, I knew, and I streamed it for a while and all this stuff, and I finally got a good copy. The acoustic stuff on this is just next level awesome. Like, there's nothing I don't like about this album. This is a start to finish album that I will just always enjoy. I do want, and I want to hear at the Peanut Gallery, anyone out there that knows this album really well, does the Steven Wilson remix, is that noticeable? Does that make a difference? Is it like, does it matter in the end? But for now, I love my original Canadian press.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Alex.
Steve is definitely the man to ask for that. That's his favorite. I think that might be Steve's favorite record.
First of all, Rob's in the house.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, he's got some
going,
shoddy
fellas?
Wi-Fi, but we can make it work.
Am I cutting out?
Your
many
audio
ways.
is fine, a little bit delayed, but your video is a little bit foggy.
No, he's good
All
now.
right.
You look good
But
now.
It's good now.
It's hotel internet. What can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Jason, dear boy, I'm so glad that you love that record because you
I
had
do,
the
man. Like, I gotta say, like, so I love their first album. This was, and I totally realized that Jethro Tull, no one likes the first album or it's never talked about. But I'm a blues rock guy, and that was kind of their heavy blues album. And then I got Stand Up as a gift. I got the Analog Productions 45 RPM, like beautiful jacket, beautiful presentation, and I love the album. I do, but this is the only other album I'm familiar with, and I finally picked it up, and I got to say it is a freaking masterpiece, man. And I love the dialogue about Ian Anderson saying, "No, it's not a fucking concept album. It's not at all."
No.
And the fan base is like, "No, it totally is." I'm like, "No, I wrote the album. It's not a concept album." I think that's hilarious and cool. I love the story about, how his wife took pictures of people on the Fames, like in like homeless encampments, and like this picture is inspired by that. And the songs are about individuals that, like individual homeless people that, very well could have been, could not have been, who knows? But
Yeah.
like the story behind it, the album itself, the tracks, the order of things, it's a beautiful piece. I could totally understand why people would say it's a concept album because it flows so nicely together.
Yes. So that's the big thing is the way it flows. And the other thing too is that there are a number of tracks that represent a similar theme, lyrical theme, right? So one of the major themes of Aqualung is this idea of questioning
God and
questioning God, but specifically questioning more the church, right? Like when I did my ranking on the Prague corner, however many weeks ago, my favorite Jethro Tull songs off that record, it's "Wind Up." I think it's what closes the record.
Yeah.
And in my favorite line, "You can excommunicate me on my way to Sunday school and have all the bishops harmonize these lines." Like it was always like a not a questioning of faith per se, but more of the questioning of the organized church part of it. And so you had things like, "Wind Up." You had things like "My God," which are, there. But you hit the nail on the head where it was like, I love that album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. It's my favorite Jethro Tull album. And it's all about the variety of sort of that, to me, my favorite passages are some of those folkier acoustic passages, right?
I love it. I freaking love that shit.
It was funny when I was doing my ranking on that show, I did like one of my favorite songs. I felt bad doing it because it's like a 2-minute song, but like "Wondering Aloud" is like just a beautiful piece of like, 2.5 minute music. You got Mother Goose, you got, Cheap Day Return, like all that type of stuff. But then you have like some dark stuff too. Like, the way Martin Bear played that guitar, man, just that some of those menacing dark guitar riffs were just absolutely outstanding. So, but you might appreciate that when their original guitarists left / whatever, fired, whatever, made a form Bloodwind Pig.
I want to talk to you about that. Shit.
Yeah, one of the people they brought in momentarily was Tony Iommi. Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, who played with them for about 3 weeks, and they're like, "Yeah, this probably won't work." And then they brought in Martin Barr. But yeah, I love that album so much. And yeah, technically not a concept record, and he's been very adamant about that. But there are lyrical themes that tie a lot of the songs kind of together. Benefit's great. I don't know what you said. But Benefit's the one that came right before it. It's great.
Have you listened to any of the Bloodwind Pig stuff? Do you own any of that?
I've never listened to it. I see that one all the time with the freaking pig that's like, but I've never bought it. I've never listened to it. But I know it's like a little bit bluesier for sure, because that was where he was going.
Yeah.
Well, I should say not a concept record, but something that I've been listening to, and actually I got my dad into it. I was over visiting him last night. Glenn sent me this. And this is the Bela Fleck Rhapsody in Blue.
That's awesome.
It's so interesting to listen to because it has 3 variations of Rhapsody in Blue, and it was released 100 years to the day that Gershwin released the Rhapsody in Blue, song. So the first track, the first variation is Rhapsody in Bluegrass. So it's like a bluegrass version of it with bluegrass musicians. And then you have a Bela Fleck original. Then you have Rhapsody in Blue, essentially straight ahead. Hey, Zach. It's essentially straight through with the Virginia Symphony Orchestra out of Norfolk, Virginia, on the coast. It's exactly the way that you've heard, Rhapsody in Blue, in the traditional sense, except Bela Fleck is playing the banjo instead of the piano being the lead. And then you have like a condensed version called Rhapsody in Blues that he does with Victor Wooten on the bass, Jerry Douglas on the dobro, and Sam Bush on mandolin. Rob, I'm talking.
Blame Jason.
Then, it's really solid. And then you have another like an original at the end. Boys, seriously, let's be professional here.
We were not laughing when I was presenting.
Yeah, Rob, Mr. Big Shot out west.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
But yeah, check this out. It's cool. Rob, you need to listen to it. You need some culture.
Is that?
I do. That's true.
Is that your first Bela Fleck?
It is. Yeah, I've never flecked the Bela, and here we are.
Oh, few have. Okay. But funny. Hold on. Actually, somebody else talk for a second. But I'm gonna pull something, giggity, and then I'm gonna go find a record. Hold on.
Rob, I know you've been out in Vegas, but what have you been listening to otherwise? I know you don't have any records on you.
I don't. I've got my iPod with me.
Okay, my point still stands.
I'm trying to think. I listened to a lot of Bruce on the flight out here because it was a 5-hour flight. So
Hornsby.
No, Springsteen.
Oh, right.
did a lot of that, and nothing since then because it's been a lot of work for the last 4 days.
Do you have time to shop? Like, is there record stores there? Is the dollar exchange not worth it, kind of thing?
Dollar Exchange isn't worth it, and where we're staying, it's not really near anything because we're too cheap to stay on the strip. So, yeah.
So Sam, I don't know if you watched my recent concert review because I don't know if you watched my videos.
I commented on it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that doesn't mean you watched it, sir. So
I've watched every single one of your
He's not
videos.
wrong.
hold on. Sam did the Rob. Where he was like, "I love how you showed that. I love how you showed that record. That's
Yeah,
a great
like-
record." No. So it's funny. I don't know if you connected these dots because again, I don't know the extent that people pay attention. But
What'd you say?
I was doing the concert review for all the hundreds of viewers out there because I saw Tony Levin, especially, but with the Stickmen. And then I was mentioning that my introduction to Tony Levin, before I knew who he was through Liquid Tension Experiment, and which is a 4-piece instrumental band that debuted supergroup in 98, 99. But what's funny is that Glenn commented on it, and he was like, "Oh, I might need to get into that Liquid Tension Experiment." And then Glenn emailed me, and he was like, "I just bought the CD off Discogs." And I was like, "Glenn, you better pull up your big boy shorts and put your diapers like." I was like, this is some of the music that makes one like shat themselves. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. This is like intense instrumental, like difficult to digest stuff. So Liquid Tension Experiment, which was Mike Portnoy, John Petrucci, Jordan Rudess, and Tony Levin, they released records in 98, 99, but then they reunited like so many others did in COVID in 2021. And they put out this monster, Liquid Tension Experiment 3, box set, triple LP, I think. But what's funny, and I'm curious, I want to have this conversation with Glenn, is that, of course, naturally, they do a 14-minute version, like the progged up metal version of Rhapsody in Blue. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, Glenn, you are fully in on this Rhapsody in Blue stuff, but this might be a little bit wacky and crazy shit too. So to be determined if he gets into that sort of stuff. Yes, of course, Mike Portnoy, my favorite drummer of all time. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Anything else going on, people? Just let's go fuck. Okay, yeah.
No, this is where is it? I listened to this the other day. This is Dan Auerbach's first record that he released on his own label, Easy Eye, which is a really cool label. I know he's produced like Marcus King has been somebody he's produced. He produced obviously like the Black Keys are now on this label. What's really cool is on the back, he's kind of got like this like Sgt. Pepper kind of image with a bunch of different people that are involved. And I know one of them is this gentleman right here, who is none other than John Prine.
No shit. Wow.
And then he also has Kenny Vaughn, who's in Marty Stewart's band. He has Pat McLaughlin, who is a songwriter in his own right. But this is like the first song was called "Waiting on a Song," which is the name of the record. It's co-written with John Prine. It is killer. It is so good. But he's got this great little ballad that opens side B called "Never in My Wildest Dreams." It is just a absolute stunner of a tune. But he's got some great, artists on here. He's got Jerry Douglas is on here, who's played with Alison Krauss. He has Kenny Vaughn. Like I said, I think he has. Oh gosh, who is it? Just like a lot of like studio cat. Dwayne Eddy is on here, the guitar player. So if you don't know this record called "Waiting on a Song," check it out. It is really, really good. It doesn't sound like the Black Keys at all. It's more folky. It has some rockier tunes on it, but it's not bluesy. It's its own record. So,
what's it called again, Sam?
"Waiting on a Song" by Dan Auerbach.
Okay.
It's from 2017.
It's a freaking shame I don't own that already. I'm a huge Black Keys guy, and I love Dan Auerbach. I love what he's doing, and like the label and the
You need it,
music they
Jason.
kind of promote. It's weird that I don't own that by now.
And what's cool is that like the poster that comes with it and the inside kind of has like the paint by number kind of thing like Sergeant Pepper did. That tells you who everybody is on the back cover. And obviously it has all the lyrics and then this really cool poster of Dan from the cover. So yeah, it's a really solid record, Jason. It's really well produced. Like I said, it's the first record that was released on Dan's independent label, Easy Eye.
Is that a Fender Eldorado on the cover?
I
Looks like it.
can't really. I don't think it's a Fender. I think it looks more like a custom. It's like a custom.
Fender makes one that looks like that. That's kind of their answer to the ES335. They're not very common.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, I know like the black
Sorry.
keys are kind of polarizing and like all that good stuff. And like I mean, Dan has done like several different things. I mean, he did like the Arcs, kind of like it was kind of like a Tex-Mex kind of thing. And then obviously like all this stuff with the keys. But it's a really good record. This was given to me by Aaron Muth Alamere a couple years ago. So I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but I listened to it about a week ago or so, and I was like, wow, that's a really good record. So, Jason, you need it. Go get it. Spend your money. So, Rob, how is Vegas? What's going on?
Oh, it's beautiful. The weather is fantastic. It's 20 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. 72, I think.
Okay.
So for me, it's nice, but these trade shows are just exhausting.
Yeah.
Because you're on the go
always
from 8 in the
on,
morning.
right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it. So thankfully, tonight I don't have any customer dinners or anything. So I'm relaxing in my hotel room by myself, which is great. I fly out tomorrow afternoon and get home around midnight. So it's been a long week.
That's draining, man. Any good food? Any restaurants that you're like jazzed about, or what?
Well, we used to go to the really expensive ones, but our company's under new ownership and the accountants tighten up on things. So there's no more like, I think the last time I was here, I went to like Bobby Flay's. We don't do that kind of stuff anymore. But I had a decent meal. There's a great barbecue, like Kansas City barbecue place where I'm staying. It was awesome. So
That's called cookout around here, Alex.
Oh, dude, I want that so bad.
You've done cookout, haven't you, Rob? Down in Charlotte.
Well, so here's the thing. There's North Carolina barbecue is not it's terrible.
I can't stand it. The vinegar. I don't do vinegar.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
This is actually, which is weird. This is the second North Carolina-based company that I've worked for, even though I live in Toronto, which makes no sense at all. But the first one I worked for, and because I'm in we'll just call it the commercial woodworking industry, which is partially centered in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I have to come to North Carolina a lot. So the very first time I went there, the new Canadian was coming down. So all the good old boys take me out for lunch.
Yeah.
They're like, do you want to go have some barbecue? And being the stupid Canadian, I'm like, meat and fire. Yeah, absolutely. That's not what barbecue is in North Carolina. That was the most disgusting shit I ever ate in my life.
Dang.
Oh,
I wonder if Art's still here.
It can't be, man. It's past his bedtime. Yeah. No, Zach hit it on the head. Great last name you got there. Zach, hope you're doing well down there in Texas, the secessionists that they are. But that was the key, man. With these fancy they would do these fancy shakes. Now, Sam, because of your boy, I know we don't like to talk about politics on the show. We know this. But because of your boy Joe, inflation's out of control, and the $5 Jason, relax, and the $5 tray is now like $9.
Well, did you see the big news today? Is that Wendy's are doing like the Uber.
You know where Wendy's headquarters is?
Is it Ohio?
Fuck it, it's across the street from my headquarters where I work.
Really?
Columbus, motherfucking Ohio.
Have you heard about this? Do y'all have
surge pricing fast food?
Do you have a Wendy's up in BC, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wendy's nuts on
surge pricing.
what stupid question is that? Of course we do.
It's based on like the rain, based on like rush hour traffic. Like it's like this crazy thing of
What?
like money's gonna like Frosties are gonna go up in
Yeah.
price based on like the rain or like inconvenience.
So Sam doesn't know because he's in rural America.
I'm not rural.
But Rob, you know when you like when you probably flew into Vegas, you got like an Uber or a Lyft
Yeah.
to your hotel, and
Right.
so sometimes during certain times of the day, there's a surge rate because it's a rush hour. There's so many things, so the price is a lot higher.
Right.
So Wendy's is piloting surge pricing for fast fucking food.
Fuck that.
So when my drunk ass is like trying to get this Baconator at 2 a.m, these fucks gonna be like, "Hey Tubby, that's gonna cost you $16."
The strip clubs were letting out. Let's jack up the prices.
Oh my god!
Oh man.
That's what Rob said. Yeah, these strip clubs been doing it for years.
I went to a bar like that once, and when I was like the one time I was in Germany, they had like a thing like it was like a stock market pricing, like they had like a stock market crash. It was wild. Like they rang a bell and everything.
Jeez.
Ring my bell, man. I don't know. Rob, do you like Vegas, or is it just like a mess for you?
You know what? I used to love Vegas, but I go so much.
Back when you drank.
No, after that, but I still loved it. But I go so much now that it's kind of a drag because I don't get to do anything. It's hotel, trade show, dinner. I was really hoping to catch you two at the Sphere because the Sphere is 5 minutes away from where we're staying.
Hell yeah.
But here's the shitty thing. So I arrive Monday midday, and I leave tomorrow midday. And the 3 nights they're not playing are the 3 nights that I'm here. On Sunday, they're playing Thursday.
Yep.
Son of a bitch. So then I thought, well, you know what? I'll go see if I can catch a Golden Knights hockey game. I checked their schedule. They're on the road. And of all places, where are the Golden Knights playing this week? In fucking Toronto.
Are they still doing Beatles Love? Have you seen Beatles Love?
I have not.
Yeah. I heard it's great. I mean,
I've heard good things about it too. I've got the Love album. I never listened to it, but
Yeah,
I
like that album.
I don't. I mean, I like what they were trying to do. It just doesn't. I listened to it. I'm like, it sounds neat, but I think it'd be a whole different thing to actually see the show.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And if I'd had time, maybe I would have. But
and I think Zach makes probably the best point of all this back to the whole Wendy's surge thing. Taco Bell would never. Thinking about Taco Bell's always been there for the people, and they would never do surge pricing. And they are the kings of the munchies, the drunk orderings, all the things. So yeah, we'll see, man. It's a tragedy.
Shoot themselves in the foot by doing that.
Does Zach have a cookout down in Texas? Has the cookout made its way down there yet?
I don't think cookouts made it to Texas, no. But also, my brother is not to like out him or anything, but he's a pretty clean eater. He's lost a lot of weight over the years. Just clean eating, working out, all that type of stuff. I'll stop drinking, sorry again, Zach, but like all the things that I don't do. And, that's why he's married and in love and has kids and is living his life the way he wants to. And I'm sitting here in Columbus, Ohio in my 3rd floor apartment trying to survive tornadoes. How cool am I?
But having a great time on a Wednesday night.
I was like, yeah, but who's on YouTube, Zach, you bitch? Okay.
Alex influences tens of people a week.
I love it.
So Rob, did you just recently get back to your hotel? Like, have you been on up until this evening?
Yeah, the show ended at 5, and then traffic was a nightmare to get back. I've been back like about an hour, so.
You've seen us looking like fools.
Yeah, I tuned in just watch for a little bit, and then I thought I'd be a smart ass and comment, and then force my way on to.
Have y'all had White Castle before? Do you got White Castle up in Canada?
No, sir.
You don't have one in Virginia,
man, and you don't want one either. I mean, This is my brother Zach and I got some stories about White Castle. I mean, you get something where it's like they're like because they're all sliders and they're all trash, right?
Yeah,
Very tiny burgers. But like to get like that in like bulk, quote unquote, like you remember like the Taco 12 pack or whatever from Taco Bell. It's like
that was an unbelievable deal.
Their version of that at White Castle is called the Crave Case, and it's like 20 slider burgers that comes in a friggin' cardboard briefcase. Like it is out of control.
Well, does Zach have kids?
I don't know. Go ahead, Sam. You had something to say?
I was gonna say, like, I'd never heard of the place called Crystal. Have you? I mean, Alex, in your travels, have you been to Crystal? Like Crystal Burger? Yeah, it's with a K. I think they're in like Eastern Tennessee and like the western part of North Carolina. It's like White Castle, from what I understand. Like trashy little tiny burgers that are, nostalgic more than anything.
Rob, have you ever been there?
No. I mean, I've been to a strip club in my day, but not that one.
My favorite strip club I've ever been to was called the Electric Cheetah.
How about in Toronto, Rob? There was a place
Spearmint Rhino.
Exists, the for your thighs only.
Yep. There used to be a great one. There used to be a great one by the airport in Toronto called the Spearmint Rhino.
Ooh.
It was a dive.
Hey, while we're not showing things, let me show you this. I found this in my friggin' this stupid friggin' cabinet that I forgot all about. Check this shit out. This was a freaking wicked little coffee table book about coffee tables.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Is that Mike from the In Groove? Hold on. What is that?
Does that make me Regis?
In the groove.
This is awesome. Like I got it for Christmas, and I was like, oh, this is wicked. What a great book. And I totally put it away, got filed away in the friggin' nothing bin. And I literally found it again the other day. I'm like, holy shit, I forgot all about this. And I've just been peeling my way through it now, like page by page, a couple pages a night, trying to stretch it out. Talking about, I'm just in the early stages, talking about how records, went from like shellac to like LP and all that kind of stuff. Like, if you want to design, and talking to Rob here, and Rob with the perfect man cave listening room, trying to decide what books you would put near or around your records. Like if you want to get into the nerdiness of like the display of your collection and all that kind of stuff, what would you have around that? And this book so far has been freaking awesome. Like, it's just an unreal, again, it's a coffee table book. Doesn't have a lot of friggin' information in it, but like every few pages, there's like a chapter on like epic record stores, like Bleecker Bob's Records in New York, and then Tower Records in LA, I think it is. Like, just incredible stuff. Like, so if you're out there, if you're still listening, there's 16 people watching, -4. What a great friggin' book to have, right? In the groove. So far, so good, but just great stuff. Like great pictures. I love this type of shit. I'll eat this shit up all day long.
So far, so good. Reminds me of some Bryan Adams, Rob.
It does.
Well, and it's funny when Bryan Adams, and then for the metalheads out there, what was the Megadeth was So Far So Good, So What, right? Was it 88 or something like that? 89? Sorry. You know me, I'm the metal guy. I hold it down for the people. Rob, if you're so comfortable sharing, you might share it earlier when I was running to the restroom. Where are you staying? If you're okay sharing, you might not be. That's fine. The people are gonna fly to the fucking Flamingo to murk you.
They aren't. I am staying at the Palms Place, which is the newest tower at the Palms.
Well, and I had heard. I mean, obviously, you have frequented in Vegas over the years, but like a lot of those old school, like hotels and resorts that people have loved staying at have gone under over the last couple of years, right?
There's not many left. It's all corporate stuff. I love the cheesiness of Vegas. It's just something fun about it, right? I mean,
there is.
The hotels are absurd, but they're fun, and there's so many things to do.
Yep.
When you have time to do it, which I don't, but
yeah.
When I used to come out here with the previous company that I was with, I was always part of the setup crew. So we'd come and set up the booth and work the show, and then another crew would tear it down. So we'd have time to kill. We'd go out to the Grand Canyon, go out to Hoover Dam, do fun shit. This company is like, you fly in the night before the show, and you do the show, and you entertain the shit out of people after, and it's just like a marathon for like 4 days. You're just, by the time you leave, you're spent, and you're like, I didn't do anything except talk to people and then eat at a restaurant and talk to people.
Man.
And I don't mind doing sales, but by the end of the day, the last fucking thing I want to do is take people out for dinner.
Yeah, that's the thing. My brother and I, we got some stories about Vegas. I think I was probably telling y'all like last time. I guess it was the last time we were there. My brother and I were out there and got into the private club at Bellagio and ended up running into, quote unquote, we didn't like meet him, but like we're a good 10 feet away from Wayne Gretzky. Like it was like a whole ridiculous thing. There's always something going on out there.
Oh yeah.
I think we stayed at Paris. They got great
I
breakfast
stayed there
over
before.
there.
That place is
Rob.
good. What's that?
Great breakfast over there.
I know. I've had the breakfast there.
It's a good breakfast. Something funny, Jason?
That's one thing you can't fault Vegas for. They have the best buffets in the world.
Dude, which for people like me
and me
and you, well, because I think it's does the Rio listen, when I'm not paying, then I'm definitely into it. But I think the Rio it was like a full ass like prime rib, crab leg, everything buffet. They probably still do it. But it was like $100.
Oh yeah.
But like out there for these businesses that are doing this shit, that's chump change.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it is funny. So one of my bucket list things, I mean, I like to travel. I like to travel to some of the cool places in in the States, especially, right? Like whether it's, Grand Canyon or the Smokies or whatever. But the last things, and Jason knows this, that my bucket list trip is to Banff. I've always wanted to go to Banff more than anything. That's where I'm going to meet Jason. That's where we're going to meet. Our lips are going to meet. It's going to be great. But
the flesh will be touched.
Oh boy,
dude.
Not
only will flesh be
dark,
touched,
everybody.
I was like, not only will flesh be touched, but it will be exchanged. Okay.
oh,
Why don't you have to join, Rob?
Rob's like, see you later, guys.
Here, domestically, there's so much still domestically I want to do, but the big thing I want to do next is Bryce Canyon. I want to do a Bryce Canyon in Zion. But you know what? While I'm sitting here trying to tell a nice story, y'all are giggling all the damn time.
We're trying to get the comment. There you go.
Richard.
He took it out.
He took. Well, sorry. Is this okay? But
welcome back, Rob. Again.
See, here's the thing, Rob. We've after dark this for the past 2 hours.
It's all good. It's all good. When the grown-ups are away, you got to play sometimes. It's all good.
You have to. Yeah, we're there.
Anyway, Banff, yes.
But the joke is, I always have to say this, for people who want to, so Zion and Bryce Canyon, Sam, you need to take a damn trip, by the way. Out to these amazing, beautiful places in Utah. But you have to fly into Vegas and then drive 3 hours. I mean, that's some people obviously go into Vegas for other stuff, but it's like to get some of that like touristy stuff too, you got to fly into Vegas and then drive a few hours from there. And that's my bucket list, man.
Let me ask, was Banff your bucket list before you met Jason, or, because you've met Jason, you want to go to Banff?
No, I wanted to. Actually, here's the joke. I wanted to go to Banff for years. When I told Jason this, he's like, "Fuck Banff! You should go to this other park where the hipsters go." 100 miles. 100 kilometers north.
Oh, it's way more than 100 kilometers, but yes.
No, what's the one you told me about, Jason? What's
Jasper? So Banff is like the major mountain tourist destination for Canada. Jasper is lesser tourist. So you're still getting everything you want, just less people.
Right.
Yeah. And is Jasper where they have like what is it called, Jason? Like the tip of the tops or whatever it's called?
I don't know what that means, but
sorry,
yes,
it's
sure.
like that hike you did where you hit the tip of all.
Yeah, it's
hit the tip of all the mountains.
It's just a tip, and it's very satisfactory.
You can hit the tip sitting right there. Why are you going to go anywhere?
Jason, you need to go.
There's great hikes about in all those places.
Look at what John said. That's disgusting.
Just a tip.
Have you ever seen the final scene, the last scene in Requiem for a Dream?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking? That gives a whole new meaning to buttock to buttock. All right.
Yeah. That movie was. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. They had a lot of issues with the drugs.
So anyway, who's got records?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Rob, you got anything to show?
I got my iPod.
Sir, this is about physical media.
Nice.
I'm in a
Sometimes, John,
I'm in a hotel of 2,000 miles from my house. No, I don't have any records
Hey,
with me.
I will show records. I got something to say here. All right, I'm wearing this shirt. I'm promoting this channel. Alex, you're all about the coal mine. I am all about Dylan Noble Records. That's my baby right there. I got 3. I've only showed 2 in my video today, but I actually have a third from the same guy in town that was just, I went to his place, bought some records. He actually threw in one of these for basically for nothing. And so Noble Records did a release of this group, Sudden Death.
I got that.
Do you? Eh? So it's not like I just did the Canadian A. If you picked up on that.
Yeah, but you're up there. Yeah.
Anyway, so where's that promo sticker? Heavy Rock 72. It's great. It's not as good as the other 2 I'm going to show, and the other 2 I showed in my video today. So
You made a video today? Holy shit.
I know I did. I made a video. This one here, best colored vinyl I've ever had. Like, this is beautiful. Like this.
Yeah. When you can you whip that out?
I will whip that out. To be
Yeah,
honest,
and then show us that record.
To be honest, I bought this album for the colored vinyl. That's a half truth. I know that when Dylan puts something out, I'm probably gonna like it just based on like what I've seen him do, right? So this album came out. Like, what a friggin' beautiful friggin' color variant, right? Anyway.
I got to ask a question.
Yes.
Is that a Vinyl Storage Solutions inner sleeve?
Yes, it is.
For those that want, if they go to Vinyl Storage Solutions and use the promo code Northern10, you can save 10% on your order.
Say,
awesome.
Rob claimed 8 cents on that deal.
And when I sent Sam his VCLT, it was all Vinyl Storage Solutions wrap.
See, there we go.
Sweet. Okay, so that's a great album. Like, I got nothing wrong about this album. I think that it kind of ventures a little bit in. So it's 1978, but the promo sticker even says it sounds like 1970. And it's not wrong, but when the vocals come in, it kind of ventures a little bit more towards the lounge kind of Steely Dan sort of vibe, which I'm not a fan of, but I
Jason
totally
hates Steely Dan.
fine. I'm not a Steely Dan guy. I'm
Jason
sorry.
lost his audiophile card when he said he hated Steely Dan.
Yeah, no shit, eh?
He just doesn't like pretzels.
Or Logic.
Or the Logic attached to them, yes. Anyway, this
Or
album
Asia.
here, Magic Ship, another
Racist.
Noble Records album. I would recommend anyone watching this to grab this album. This is
Sold out,
fantastic.
Jason.
Is it, eh? It's done, eh? So secondary market, you're probably going to pay too much, but whatever.
Well,
this was
listen,
a fantastic album. Both
sorry,
of these albums.
sorry to interrupt, Jason, but I think it's important. So those 2 are sold out through Noble, which means that the Noble exclusive variants are sold out. But I think those are both Garrison, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So you
Okay.
can still buy them through Garrison, yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, my video, I wax poetic, which I don't, but I go on at length and I ramble about how great the liner notes are for both of these, really, but this one in particular. Like, if you just the idea of making a band when you're a teenager, I totally regret not doing that in my life. Like, and the liner notes, especially on this one, talk about 14, 15-year-olds forming a band after watching the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Like, literally, the dude watches it, phones his buddy and says, "Did you just see this shit?" He's like, "Yeah." They make a band the next day. And then the story in the liner notes details the whole band and how they get together, the people that come and go, getting in touch with a record exec. It's just a wonderful story. And the music itself is just unreal. Like, just great fuzz rock, psych rock kind of guitar stuff from that era. And I say in my video, I read a portion of the liner notes and talks about like, yeah, we were nothing special. We were just dudes in that time period in the greatest moment of rock history, throwing a band together. And I talk about how, I don't know, man, like that, like gives me chills to think about how cool that is to be that age in that era with the talent enough to make a band and to put it together and to come out with something on wax. Super cool. Like I would buy that album for if I had the money, I'd buy that album for anyone I know. Like I want you to own that album. I want you to own the history of that album and appreciate it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm bummed I waited on those. I mean, it's tough, right? Because this is like the consumer Alex in me, right? Like every time Dylan over at Noble, and I'm a huge fan, so this is obviously no disrespect to him, but every time he posts about one of these, I'm like, oh, I gotta buy it.
Yeah.
And then I go back and sometimes I'll go to my local store and I'll see the same record, but just not the color variant.
Yeah.
And I never pick it up. So I started thinking, I was like, am I only buying this because of like the color variant through Noble? And then of course I wait and then it sells out and then I hate myself. But yeah, I mean the Magic Ship and then obviously the other one that you're talking about, I kind of hate that I didn't get those, but I think they're still available through Garrison. So
yeah. No, it's like, to be honest, like, it's funny, kind of like my remark earlier about like different record labels. Once you understand a reissue label and what they're putting out, you can pretty much bank on, without even streaming the product, that you know what they're going to put out is up your alley, right? So Coal Mine, so far, everything I've listened to is up my alley. Noble Records, everything that they've put out is up my alley. It's just a question of like, can I afford it, really? But
are there alleys in BC?
Not in my town. just goat trails, they call them. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, around here it's deer trails. So
yeah.
Now, Sam, I want to show you a record. I want to show you a record, Sam. In fact, Sam, let me go ahead and make myself big. That's Jason.
Sorry.
I got 2 records for you, boy, Sam.
I say, boy. Oh yeah, that's tasty.
Now,
so this is Andrew
Gabbard.
This is Cedar Thwitty, Too Many PBRs City Sweetheart. I don't mind this. It also just, as you could probably make an assumption, I just don't know that it's my jam.
Mm-hmm.
So you bought 2 of them.
Now, Rob, let's relax before we start raising our voices. First of all.
Listen, I just asked a question. Don't get your panties in a knot.
Well, Rob, I bought this one because it was released last year, and then I was in a store and found this was a promo. And so this is probably, look, Sam, I don't want to give it away now.
Yeah, right.
But this is probably going to end up in your butt. I'm probably going to bring this down with me next month when I come see you.
And I'll give you a shirt that was given to me by somebody else that's on the stream.
What a guy. Okay. So this is basically Sam's record at this point. But so Andrew Gabbard is he's the touring guitarist for the Black Keys. Turns out, but he's a country guy. And again, in typical sort of coal mine Karma Chief lingo, homemade cosmic country rock. Yeah, I mean it is a very cosmic, psychedelic, kind of trippy.
Well, like I told Jason earlier when you were in the bathroom, it's like Nesmith meets the Beach Boys.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that
like post Pet Sounds Beach Boys.
Yeah, I've never listened to Nez solo, so I can't comment on that. But it's a little more. I don't want to say twangy. That sounds a little bit lazy. But you know me, it's like I'll acknowledge like it might be a little bit too country at this point, but
it's
who knows
country.
where it goes.
Yeah,
it is. Now, Sam, you might like this. This came out end of 2023, maybe November, December. And this is Michael Now. the record is called Accompany. And
Okay.
this is described as nestle up with the dreamy psych folk melodies of Michael Nels. This is very Jim James, My Morning Jacket, like very more that sort of
Okay.
side of like
Yeah.
trippy psychedelia type of stuff, like a little bit more drony, I guess. I enjoyed this. This was very good, but also like I can see like it's not, everybody's sort of cup of tea or whatever.
I'm funny about My Morning Jacket, so
I'm sorry, what's that, Sam?
I said I'm kind of funny about like Jim James. I have tons of respect for Jim James. Yeah, there you go, Jason. They have some good songs, and like I mentioned earlier, like last year they released it was like a 2011 like Christmas EP. There you go, Rob. Yeah,
Dude, here's the thing. That's the best thing I've seen all night, by the way.
I'm hungry as hell.
But no, like something about like the production of like the My Morning Jacket stuff, and like it's kind of like Wilco, like Wilco. Like I have nothing but respect for Jeff Tweedy. Oh dang, Rob. You're showing that's like nudity.
Rob, I swear to God, Rob, if you took your shirt off and slapped that on your titty, I would send you $1 million.
Are you serious?
Hold on, Rob, that's $1 million Americano. Okay.
If you had $1 million, I'd do it.
I mean, hold on, the check's gonna bounce, but it's still gonna be.
Yeah, what's that about a third floor apartment? So, but yeah,
He was talking about Tweety.
Yeah, Tweety and the
Monkey
Man. But like the My Morning Jacket stuff, it's okay, but the early stuff is good. There were some like, deeper cuts that are okay, but like as a whole, I want to get into them because like production wise, they're kind of similar to like Lord Huron, with like the ethereal kind of sound to it. But
yeah,
I don't know. So like, but that's interesting. Like, what is his name? Michael Now? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Now NAU.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll try it.
But this is not. Sam, I would recommend you stream this. I'm not gonna be like, oh, buy it, and I'm
not gonna buy it.
Send you it.
Not right now.
But this is like more singer-songwriter. Like this is like Jim James doing solo stuff.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind that.
This is definitely more like guy with an acoustic guitar, backing drums, singer-songwriter type stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've got them pulled up now.
And I saw John put this in there. I do love My Morning Jacket. I know you do too, Jason. But for me, I've loved all their stuff. Like I think I have everything. But to me, the period, like the albums that have always struck for me. I sound like a boomer saying this type of stuff, but like At Dawn and It Still Moves to me have always been my favorite. Like the Strangulation, the One Big Holiday, like all that type of stuff I've always loved that stuff.
Yeah, it is a favorite for me. Like My Morning Jacket, Jim James. Like I'm already in the camp of they can do no wrong. Like I love the ethereal, like big production quality that they put to their albums.
Did you get the new like the Christmas album that they put out last year, Jason?
No, I didn't get that. No,
that was like I was like on iTunes like in 2011, and then like they added a couple new tracks like that weren't released, but like there are two I know that are with the Head and the Heart, and I found that at my record store kind of like by happenstance because like I was there for like the Black Friday reissues for Record Store Day, and like I saw that and I was like I didn't know that they released this, and like I looked on the back and I saw. I love their version of Christmas Must Be Tonight by the band. I know Rob's a big fan of that tune as well.
That song.
And My Morning Jacket was one of the first versions of that song that I heard. And, then I saw like, 2 tracks have the Head and the Heart. Like, I'm going to risk this and get this. I love their version of it. I love the Head and the Heart. And like, it's fantastic. I really like it.
Yeah. So. They're definitely how do I say this? I love, interesting. John points this out. Maybe, but you're also not wrong. I want to like be clear that like you're not wrong for not liking them. Like you like what you like and you don't like what you don't like. But I don't think that Jim, like from a singer-songwriter perspective, I would never be like Jim James has a beautiful voice. Like,
right, yeah.
It is acquired. It's not it does have that sort of psychedelic droney type of sound to it. I think they're also a band. I've never seen them, but I've been told that they're a band that you need to see live.
I believe it. Oh, man.
Given sort of their style and pizzazz, I'm like I remember seeing them on. It's funny. The first time I ever heard about them was seeing them live on David Letterman.
Mm.
Yep.
And it's funny of you sitting there on your couch at 11:30 at night watching TV and being like, oh, I need to see this band. And they were playing One Big Holiday, which was their big hit at the time. And I was like, ooh, I might be into this band. But yeah. That always a good choice there, John. It is always a good choice to listen to some music, man. Yeah, they do. And I know last time, actually, Richard, last time I was in that area, I was in your neck of the woods-ish back in August, September-ish time, July maybe. I don't know, whatever it was. But it was, I remember actually going out. I know you're in the Denver area, but I was meeting up with some friends. Excuse me. I was meeting up with some friends out in Winter Park. And My Morning Jack was at Red Rocks the night before, and it was 2 or 3 nights of consecutive salads. But they're the ideal band that you would have at a place like Red Rocks for sure. Yeah, I gotta go see them for sure. But they're touring every damn year, right? They're one of those bands that's going to tour every damn year, even up by Jay probably.
Not yet, man. I would drop some serious coin to see them live for sure.
But Rob, what kind of pizza? Where's that pizza from, Rob? Did you get a little local joint there, a little Domino's? What'd you get?
No, there's a pizza place downstairs in the casino. It's one of the many restaurants.
Of course there is.
Right? There's a pizza place, there's a barbecue place, there's an Asian place, there's a buffet, there's a fine dining place. There's 12 restaurants.
Amazing.
And I'm so sick of going at them. I'm just going to grab a pizza from downstairs, come up to my room, and just put my shorts on and sit on my couch and watch TV or watch you clowns.
Rob, between you, me, Jason, Sam, the 14 people watching, and the rest of the public YouTube community, I would give my left tit for a pizza right now. 1,000%.
I'm pretty hungry. I haven't eaten supper yet.
This is good. I got one piece left. It's just going to sit here. So if either of you can make it to Vegas this evening, it's yours.
That's a good. Dad's got a good question there.
Dan, so I actually saw Widespread last year in Austin. I was down visiting my brother. We saw Widespread at Austin City Limits, of all places, which was dope. They're great. They're amazing. I have nothing negative to say about them. They are the full. I think Fish similar, right? They're the full modern day jam band, right? 3-hour shows, extended jams, improvisation, some really cool covers, all that type of stuff. So I got nothing bad to say about those bands, but I think they're artists that I don't know that I would ever buy a studio album from, right? It's I think they're a band that you go see live, and if they release a live record, cool. But I don't know that I would buy their studio stuff just because to me it's not as exciting. But that's just my thing. For sure. Sam's gone again, man. Sam just leaves. This is what he does.
Sam's going to bed.
He's just going to leave this on and get up in the morning.
It's still on.
Right? I'm just going to leave. Yeah, I'm just going to leave the stream going just so I can add to the watch hours, right?
There he is.
There he's back. Good. Now I can go. Talk amongst yourselves.
When do you head back home, Rob?
Tomorrow afternoon.
When's the flight?
2:00.
Okay.
It's going to be midnight by the time we get home because it's 2:00 and then the 3-hour time change and the 5-hour flight. And then.
Do you have a layover?
Nope. No, it's a direct flight, which is good. It's good. But then, once you land, you got to do customs. And then I got to get to my car, which takes a little bit because of where I'm parked. And then it's an hour drive home. So leave here at 2 and get home at midnight. But
brutal.
Does your work pay for your car to stay at the airport?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's nice. You don't have to have the missus come and pick you up or anything?
Well, I live too damn far from the airport. I'm an hour away, right? So there's no other. Even if I were to take like a ride share or an airport shuttle, it's still going to cost as much as it is.
Yeah.
There's like I don't park right at the terminal. There's a low rate parking garage like half a mile away ish, and there's a tram that connects it to the airport. So you park there, and it costs you like $100 for the week, which is still a lot. But when the company's paying, not my money.
Right.
But I get tired. I don't travel much for work anymore. I used to do it all the time, and it was fine when it was just me and my wife, and even before we were married. But now that I'm old and grumpy and like to be at home and have a kid, I hate the work travel. I do it we got to do like 3 or 4 trade shows a year, and I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over it to the point that I've turned down 3 trips to Europe already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do I work at Kruger Smoothers?
Industrial Smoothers.
I don't know what the hell that is, but no.
I heard your company stinks.
I was like, is that like Vandalay Industries?
Latex.
Ben is coming to Vancouver and Toronto. Well, I'll have to connect with him.
Wow.
Toronto, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool, huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
that'd be
Ben's
great.
one of those guys.
Robot. That'd be great.
Ben's one of those guys that's like, he's like on like the bucket list of like VC meetups because like he lives so far away, and like everybody seems to like love him and everything. But like the fact that like you'd be able to like actually meet him would be like a cool, experience.
That's like, yeah, if he's within 800 miles, you're like, we got to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down in Virginia. I'm like,
Toronto? It's not too far away. Yeah.
Glenn's been trying to get me up there for a long time. I mean, it's like a 12-hour, 14-hour drive from me up to where y'all are, Rob.
Yeah, I've driven down through Carolina. So it's, I've driven to Charlotte. I've driven down to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about 12 hours.
Wilmington, I've done like the Battleship there, North Carolina is there. And then Holden Beach, we used to vacation down there.
Yeah.
That's so crazy that you've been that close to me.
Yeah. Several. I mean, the amount of times that I've been there I've been like High Point, Greensboro, Raleigh, North Carolina, that area.
Yeah.
I mean, I've probably been there 100 times.
Are you destined to come back anytime soon?
I might be down in Charlotte within the next couple months.
Because I'm looking, because like I was telling the guys earlier, I mean, I know you don't care, but like Bob Dylan is going on tour with Willie Nelson and Robert Plant and Alison Krauss.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're going to be in Charlotte in June. It's a Saturday, and then they're going to be in Raleigh as well.
I might be in Charlotte in June. I mean, they want me to come down.
22nd. I think it's the 22nd.
I'm trying to make every excuse in the book not to come down because I'm too bloody busy. I don't really have time, and it's not. The 2 guys that work for me, they need to go down. I don't really need to go down, but the boss is probably going to make all 3 of us go down. And if I do, then I'll go to Noble Records because he's literally right around the corner from our office. So.
Noble. Oh wow! I've met Dylan once, briefly.
Yeah.
Again, Jason with the shirt.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys. This has been fun. This has been real. It's been real fun, but I'm ready to pack it on in and then maybe get off the stream, if you know what I mean. So any final parting words from you all? Anything big? What do we do? Like, what's coming up? Like that kind of stuff. Sam, what's coming up on your channel, brother?
Well, I wanted to again promote one more time. I just did a video with Rich Strickler. I'm probably going to do a video maybe tomorrow just to kind of like get people over to Rich's channel because he's been out since May of last year, just taking some time for himself. But we did a video where we ranked the songs on this record, Hotel California. We kind of picked back up our classic album series. It's on his channel. It's on my community page. Check that out. Please subscribe to him again. Like I said at the top of the stream, I want to get him to 700 subs pretty quickly just to make him feel welcome again back in the YouTube. So check that out. I've done a couple of videos. Like I said, I'm probably going to have a video out tomorrow, I hope, promoting Rich's channel, just, getting people over there. And other than that, I know we have a series is going to be starting soon on Massey's main entertainment channel, where we're going to be doing kind of like a March Madness like bracket challenge of albums from the 70s, like matching albums up to each other. And it might be maybe a 10-part series where we break it down and try to get to the final album. I think we filmed that first week of March, but yeah, that'll be coming up soon. But yeah, check out Rich's channel. That's kind of my main push tonight. So
nice. Love it. So good to have him back, man.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love him to death.
Jason?
I put something out today. How about that? There's a video out there today, just recent spins or whatever, recent finds. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Go check that out.
And it's a great video. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Rob?
Well, I'm going to have to make a video when I get home. I didn't do one this weekend because I didn't do my usual Sunday video because I was getting ready for travel. I'll have something come out Sunday. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I got a couple different ideas. And then Sam and I really need to record our podcast episode
Yes,
next
we do.
week. And I'm also doing a podcast episode with our good friend Racer Joe because I got to get a couple of podcast episodes in the can because I'm now behind schedule on my commitment to the podcast. So
some people care, Rob.
I know. I do care, but
I did do one. I don't know. Was it since last week? I did one with Chance and then Vance from Zep Pearl. That was a blast. Just talking Pearl Jam stuff. So I'll say that. Plug for that.
Do you have your pre-order out there for Dark Matter, Jay?
Oh yeah, already done. When I bought the tickets, I bought that. Yeah.
Nice. Do you get is there like a fancy color variant there?
Yeah, it's a nice one. It's like some kind of red black kind of thing. Looks good.
A good $75 delivered to your home.
It's probably pushing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I love that for you. No, it's good. Well, and yeah, I mean nothing too crazy on my side. But yeah, some fun stuff on the horizon, as they say. And yeah, just thanks for everybody for joining and laughing with us and all that kind of stuff. You make it all worthwhile. Sam, from Jason, from Rob. It has been a pleasure, friends. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and we will chat soon. Goodbye.
Great time, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Safe travels, Rob.